Good evening, folks. Welcome to our Xbox stream of the Baku race. We're going to Azerbaijan today. The Xbox boys seem to be quite riled up for this race because it's going interesting in terms of battles on track and, you know, driver versus driver, etc. So it's going to be interesting to see how the race goes on. In Combox today, I have SD with me. Hi, SD.
Hello everyone, good evening.
So he'll be co-commentating. Actually, he'll be the lead commentator. I'll be co-commentating with him. And along with us, we have a streamer as well, who is Alex. Hi, Alex.
I'm not sure he'll be able to he's able to talk to you because he's deafened right now. But yeah, he's also very excited for tonight because the first time I think drivers Xbox boys will be around Baku, and since it's the first track that as the track that everyone around the IRC is going to tackle this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see how Xbox boys traverse the track because well known for the safety cars and usual the caster section drama. So we will have an insane race tonight. That's what we hope.
Absolutely. So SD, I think talking about Baku, it gives me just the one memory about Tier 1 last season, and you were the race winner. You want to give us a gist of what exactly happened?
Yeah, I don't think it was last season. It was season 5, if I remember correctly. My
Oh, I'm
memory.
sorry. My apologies. It's
Yeah.
season 5.
But yeah, so that was one hell of a race. I still remember, it's still quite fresh in memory that I went without any practice. Just one of my, I think, without any practice, I was in Aurangabad that time. And I think I had no practice. Again, as I said, sorry for repeating myself. And then there was no way I was thinking that I was going to get a good result there. I was around a second off from the top guys, but somehow even after getting uh, two front wing changes and getting a bit lucky with the safety car and got a perfect call to go onto the inters. Just when I saw that there is a bit of raindrops, and that actually made my race. And holding off Maranello Baby for the last 6 laps was insane fun. Of course, a lot of pressure because he was and still is the quickest driver in IRC, if I remember, or if you consider my opinion to be valid. But it was fun times. I think that was my I've got very less wins. I don't have the amount of wins that people have here, but that was one of the best moments for me to cherish. I'll look back.
Absolutely. I mean, it was amazing to even watch it, to be honest, because I think I was commentating and oh my God, what a race it was. I was just shocked to see you were somewhere in the bottom part of the top 10, so around 8th or something before you made that
No,
pit stop.
I was 12th if I
Oh, you
remember
were
right. So
12th,
I was
even better.
yeah.
Actually, it makes it even more sweeter. You were 12th, and then there were some raindrops, and people were still going around on their set of mediums, if I'm not wrong. And suddenly, out of nowhere, I think it was under the safety car or something like that.
Yep,
You
it
had,
was under safety car.
yeah, you had immediately fit for inters, and we were like, oh my God, this guy is gonna have some overheated tires. He's gonna spin around, etc., etc. But then, yeah, you proved us all wrong. You took the win with that brilliant strategy call. So. Yeah,
Yep,
that's a fond memory to remember.
yep, definitely. And Harry, I would like to request you to increase my volume a bit if possible. Because I think the people in the stream are saying that I'm a bit low volume side.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm getting that sorted. Give us a mic check, SD.
Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that should have sorted it out. But yeah, viewers, thanks a lot for helping us out here. Do tell us if the audio of the great SD is fine again on stream, please.
Yep. Let's move on to this stream. I feel because I think the Xbox boys have readied up. So, yep, we have Alex back with us. Hello, Alex.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yep, Azerbaijan. What do you expect from people around here?
Too many collisions in the first corner.
That's definitely an issue. But along with the first corner, the run to the line from the start finish straight isn't as long as you can see some other tracks like Hungary or Monza, but it's still very important because the person on the inside can get a very good run as I think Hamilton would have showed us in real life GP just before this disaster. But
Yeah.
yeah, just having the inside on turn one is very important, as you can manage to push the car on the outside a bit wide because there's a barrier on the outside, so that might uh, hinder his run to his turn two. So it'll be definitely interesting what tire strategy these guys take, because given that it's a high deck circuit, it's a rear limited circuit, so it'll be very interesting to see what tire strategy they take. And I'm assuming that everyone's going to go on one stop strategy with mediums to softs, but we will see what happens in the race. So let's move on to the lobby, shall we?
So that we'll be
They
back in a short time. Actually, there's a little bit of technical issues on the back end. We'll be back shortly.
Yep.
Well, hi everyone, welcome back. Sorry for that small delay. We had to sort out a few things on the stream side. Let's go back and check how it is going for the boys in the Xbox. I think we are on live. I hope you boys in the com box are able to see everything as well.
Yes, we are. We can. It's clear.
Well, great. That's good to know. So we are right now in Q1, and Catty is right now with the fastest lap of a 140 flat, and it's still Q1, and it looks a little dark, so it looks like it's gonna start raining soon. I'm not sure, but it's overcast conditions at the moment. Um, AJ Sams in P3 with a 141.1. The drivers who've retired already, probably because they have already set in decent laps to be in the qualifying positions, are Stealthy Sunny, who's in P2, HB58 in P4, Contra Bob in P5, Rahul 941 in P8. Looks like Contented Mink has had an incident somewhere. We have not captured it. So, yeah, that's the small update we have up till now in Q1. Yeah. Also, if we can get the track map, full track map on and the telemetry on, Alex.
Harry,
Are you
safety.
not able to hear me on Discord? Yeah, so seem to be having small issues over here. I do not know what's up.
I think you muted Harry.
Yeah.
Let's just check. ज़्यादा कुछ हो रहा नहीं by the way.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know what happened. My Discord bugged out. Sorry for that. Yep, I can hear you right now.
You can hear us, right? Loud and clear.
Yep, yep, I can hear you right now. Sorry, I don't know what happened to my Discord.
Yeah, cool. Also, Alex, when you're not talking, I would suggest you keep your mic muted because we can hear
Yep.
ourselves.
Yep.
Yep. So I think we're all sorted from our side. Sorry for the technical difficulties and technical glitches, but yep, we already see 4 people, like 5 people. Or is it six? Six
There's even
people.
more. There's even more. So SD, what's happening is it's Q1 if you remember. It's full quali.
Yeah.
So the guys who all said lap times are probably done and they feel that's enough to pass on to Q2. The only person who seems to have retired specifically is Contended Mink, who's in P15. He's not even set a lap time.
That's another tough luck because we saw one of the Ferraris having one of the best races I think in the calendar last week in Belgium. I mean, it had some controversial moments, some moments of the safety car which we don't talk right now. We would have seen, but uh, yeah, I mean, it's again battle of the Mercedes versus Ferrari. They are pretty close in the championship again. I think it's less than 10 points separating them, and the drivers' championship is also pretty close for the top five. So we are expecting Ferrari and Mercedes to battle it out around Baku, and also the Red Bull drivers giving us it might be the dark horse this race, giving us a good example of how to take advantage when the pack ahead battle for position. So seeing that Contender Mick retiring is a very shame because I think that will take us away from the raw battle on track, but it'll be really fun and interesting to see how he comes back from this starting position.
Absolutely. In fact, there are only three cars on track right now, and it's both the Mercedes and I guess one of the McLarens on track of steeled Sneeze. He seems to be going towards the end of his lap. He's almost going to complete his lap. He will have to try and post somewhere in the early 142s or late 141s to probably go to the next qualifying session. That's Q2. Yeah, and he's got a 141.9, so that should be more than enough for him to go on to Q2. So we'll have to
I
wait
see
and see.
Starmax retire.
Uh, I think you're a bit ahead, so that's not an issue. But we have not seen that yet. I think we might be quite happy with this lap. Just a quick inside information for the viewers. This race, as it looks gloomy right now, the weather is going to improve by a lot, and race and the weekend moving forward should be clear. There's no rain expected, so we're going to have at least a proper battle on track.
Well, thank God, because I was fearing that it's gonna be wet quali towards the end. Probably Q3 would be wet, but yeah, now that you've told it, I guess that sorts it out. So it's gonna just get brighter and brighter through till the end of the race. So yep, that's gonna be. I mean, oh, the two Mercedes
Oh,
There is a
drivers.
penalty.
yes, it's really, really sad because it's between the Mercedes teammates. So I'm pretty sure they won't be happy, as you know that they might be on the same lobby, private lobby together. So there might be some interesting choice of words going around right now.
Yeah, and if we can go on both the Mercedes drivers, Alex, we're still on Face Fighter, who's in P8 right now with 142.5. He seems to be content with his lap because, yeah, he's in P8. That should explain it all.
So I think they were looking for a good cheeky slipstream off the back straight, but I think they might have got it horribly wrong. Uh, as we know, this game is, oh my god, that's literally putting misery to the A League, because if both the Mercedes are 5 plus grid penalty, although they are at the back of the grid, I expect them to improve by a ton. But the 5 second grid penalty definitely is not going to help any member of the Mercedes team right now.
Actually, SD, to correct you, it is Hunter Vanguard who's gotten both the penalties. In fact, he's got a 10 place grid penalty right now if the game has done everything right, because there was collision between them, and on top of that he was also penalized for illegally blocking Simply Whitey on track by the game.
Oh, is it?
So yeah,
I think we can confirm that. Alex, I think you can just go to the they can pause and go to the race director and incidents. I think if it's a 10-second penalty, then it's gonna be really, really bad for them. If you can go to the incidents tab, and no, it's Simply and Hunter both getting five
okay,
seconds.
so yeah, my bad then. I stand corrected, and I think that's it. That's probably 5 place grid penalties for both the Mercedes drivers until and unless the Xbox boys are thinking about restarting the lobby, which I don't think they will. It looks like that's probably race ruined for them. Well, we'll have to wait and watch how it goes for them, because that is definitely going to be a P15 and P14 on the grid right now, because they haven't qualified into Q2 as well. So yeah, they're all in the pits. We only have 44 seconds left in the session. We're gonna wait it out, count it out, probably to the end.
Yep. I mean, having given that the sector 3 is a very big long straight, it's like around 1.5 kilometers plus. So having like going for the slipstream is really, really beneficial. You could gain at least half a second to like 4 tenths to half a second in the final sector if you get a very perfect or ideal slipstream. But yeah, we just witnessed a scenario where you can get it horribly wrong if you're going for the strategy. So they'll be kicking themselves, but it's not done. It's not the end of it's the end of the session, but it's not the end of the race for them. So moving forward, I think both the Mercedes have a long road ahead, a very tough road ahead.
Absolutely, they're actually at the last place. Again, I don't know if you noticed this, SD. Were you there for the previous Xbox stream as well?
Yes, I was there.
Do you
I did
remember?
notice.
Do you remember that there was no P14 until the race? It kept showing that there were 15 drivers, and the 14th
Oh
driver
yeah,
never existed. It's there again. So I don't know if this is an Codemasters issue on the Xbox side of things, but yeah, looks like they did not consider P14 in qualifying.
it
Um,
might be the full quali. Because the driver, I think whoever has retired or has left the session might be by default given the last place quali 1. So it might be that. It might be just a small minor bug on their end, but it's all right. We just saw Q2 people who are advancing to Q2, and I'm not sure who RX and T3K9S people chase the game attacks all around. So I think uh, I cannot tell you for my life who that is, but let's move forward
All I know is that
with the session.
he is in the AlphaTauri team along with Red Skull because they both have the RXN in front of them. Well, boys, what is happening? We have some unity within the Xbox drivers.
It might be incognito choice. Yep, I think it is him. So I think we did see him participate in the last race in Belgium. So he's back with a different game attack. It's very difficult to track game attacks if they keep on changing race weekend onwards, like race weekend on. So yeah, we'll move forward. For the stream to know, it's incognito Chelsea. He was there last weekend, so he's a quick driver, but we'll see how the streets of Baku treat him.
Absolutely. Alex, if we can have the telemetry and the lap data on, please, along with the tires they're using, because that'll be useful for us to, for the viewers to, and for us to have a look at what's happening around on track. Also give us, yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Uh, we'll have a look at how Rahul does. I think, if I remember right, he was the one who won the previous race. That's at Belgium, by keeping it clean out in front, and also the safety car helping him a lot. So
Yeah, I think he finished P2 on track, but he got his unfair 5-second penalty removed from by the stewards. So he did win it, but I mean, but yeah, it was close race. We had safety car at the final stages, which actually bunched up the entire pack. So it was quite close race, and Rahul came out on top after the penalties were removed and verdicts were given out.
absolutely. Let's go onboard Rahul for a lap and complete the lap with him, Alex, because he is definitely a fast driver. In fact, he proved it in the race as well in Spa, because he was always able to pull out a decent enough gap on the drivers ahead of him. Let's go onboard him and check out how he's doing the lap. Turn 1 seemed to be perfect, using maximum track over there towards the outside on the entry of turn 1. Turn 2, and yeah, that's another short straight which will not complete sector 1, but yeah, that will lead to the corner that will complete sector 1. It's important to get your exits right over here, and probably that will reward you a lot. And also, you need to dare to go as close to the wall as possible. He chooses to go to the second gear. Gives him that shaves a lot of cornering speed, but it definitely gives you some turn in probably. And he cuts across that curb. Game doesn't invalidate him. Good job. So the castle section again. The I am stupid is always going to be famous from Charles Leclerc in 2019, if I'm not wrong. And every Ferrari driver, hence in IRC also, will be getting the nerves when they go through the castle section in the qualifying session. Seem to have a clean lap, not probably the most track usage over there, but he seems to be on point till now. Turns in perfectly fine, gets a purple second sector. That's gonna help him a lot. There's still no lap times that have been put, so this is the benchmark time for everyone to follow here on. Wow, that's beautiful to see the track side by side. I don't know if you noticed that, but yeah, DRS open. That's a long straight, like SD had mentioned earlier. As he goes across the line, he puts in a 144, 140.4. That's a good lap, considering it's only his first lap. We have some yellow flags by one of the McLarens in sector 2, but yeah, during that lap, goes off track and keeps the lap. He is not invalidated. Interesting.
Yep. While we were on board, Rahul did see some of the guys putting in their laps on the medium tires. Uh, we have HB58 putting in 141.9, which is miles off the pace right now. Medium tires should be around second and a half away, not 1.8. I think he's just second and a half, so that's all right. So yeah, interesting to see Rahul going with the soft tire strategy. As I said, the contra strategy, or the one where you start on the harder tires and move on to the softer tires at the end, is the better one. But given that this is prone to safety cars, I think if you get a safety car by time where you're in the middle of the stint of the medium tires, you are in a very bad position because you either have to make a decision to go on a hard tires or you have to do an extra stop. So I mean that might be the strategy on his mind, but yeah, interesting to see less people going on the front strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as you mentioned it, ST, I think I don't know which tire it's showing. I think it's showing the tire on the fastest lap right now, or the tire they are on right now. I'm not sure, but if it is the tire on the fastest lap by every driver, then yeah, it's an equal split, I think, between the soft tire strategy and the medium tire strategy at the moment.
Yep, AJ, I mean, the 2:21 is not representative at all, but Catty has put in a very good lap. He's milliseconds away from Rahul on his soft tire run. So I'm pretty sure Rahul has a lot to give in. This might have been just a banker lap, but that's a very good lap from Catty right there.
Absolutely, but remember, this is not for pole. This is still Q2. This is just about getting into Q3, probably the top 10, if I'm not wrong, get into Q3. Just as I say that, Contra Bobby goes purple sector in sector 1, if I'm not wrong. And also, Hunter Vanguard, who had that unfortunate 5 place grid penalty in Q1, has gone pole or provisional P1 in Q2 with a 140.18. That's about 2 tenths faster than Rahul's lap time. So yeah, that's. I don't think there'll be much concern the soft runners because they've put in a lap time which will definitely take them into Q3 at this point. But we'll have to wait and watch how it goes. Counter Bobby seems to be quite pacey. Gets a purple second sector as well. Let's stay on board him to the finish line and see how he does. He taking a little different line through the two kinks of the long DRS. Sorry, the long straight, the start finish straight. He has used just enough fuel, I think. He's already blinking, flashing red. Um, let's see. Ooh, it's only a P4 with a 141 flat. So he's almost a second of the current pole position. But the game, for some reason, has shown us 2 purple sectors. So either he had a
Yeah,
bad sector 3.
that might be a glitch on the game side. But what do you think the cutoff time is? Because I'm seeing quite a big spread between the pole and top 10 right now, who is face fighter, who has retired, or maybe has retired on track, or crashed out on track, or might have just retired because he's happy with the time. But I think anywhere below 141.7 is all right. Will be all right for progressing into Q3. But it'll be interesting to see who goes on the softer tires because, again, as I said, softer tires less live. You'll be on the harder tire at the final end. So, yeah, I think 141.7 should be enough.
Absolutely. Actually, 141.7 will be more than enough to go into Q3 for sure. I mean, this is in comparison to the times or the pace that these drivers have around. So, yeah. So, Face Fighter, I think, has unfortunately retired. He has set a 142.6, so that's way off pace. I don't see how he will go on to Q3 until unless the other drivers are not able to improve. Um, T3K9, who's in the Aston Martin. Well, I was wrong, so it is. Is Red Skull also in the Aston Martin? Yeah, I told
Yep, both of
AlphaTauri.
them.
Earlier, I
Yeah,
told AlphaTauri.
it's all right. I mean, there's so many blue liveries and green liveries. It's very difficult to actually differentiate on track. But yeah,
Yep, so T3K9 seemed to be on another lap. I do not know why he's using the same set of softs, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he is able to progress through the session. It's still dark, SD. I am still not able to believe that it's going to be dry for the race. I think you got the data directly from some of the drivers on grid.
yeah, it is expected to be a dry race. Maybe quali might be overcast throughout, so that I was not completely aware of. I wasn't 100% sure about quali, but race is dry as per the info that I have. So it's all right. I mean, being overcast is actually helping them. The tires might not overheat as much as going through because you do lose a lot of you overheat your rear tires moving through the tight and twisty castle section. You have a lot of change of direction. So and heavy traction zones like one where the red skull is. So yeah, it is quite heavy on the rear tires, but uh, I do expect it to be still a one stop. Given having said that, it's going to be a heavy break.
Absolutely. Actually, now that you told it, it's a typical street circuit characteristic where your rear tires get worn out a lot. You know exactly why this is.
Um, I you cut off there. I was did not catch you there. Sorry.
I'm asking
Uh,
you.
Oh, I did not catch you there. Mic just cut off randomly. It's might have been
yeah.
the connection. So yeah, can you repeat what you asked? I did not catch you.
Yeah, so I was asking this. You mentioned about the rear tires taking a beating in this track. That when you told that, I was reminded that street circuits generally have this characteristic where it takes a lot of life out of the rear tires.
Yeah, that's because there's a lot of start and stop motion. So once you are going to get like you're going to go on throttle, you have to be very progressive on it so as to not have wheel spin. Now, more wheel spin you have, the more hot the tire gets, and the more rubber you lose as you go from a low speed to high speed. So that definitely heats up your tires a lot. As you have to change your direction, you have to put a lot of thermal load on them, and that mainly is that's the sole reason for it to get maybe the temperatures to go out of handle, because you don't give the tires any breathing room to cool down. So that's the main reason.
Absolutely. Thank you for that technical insight, SD. As ever, we have SD over here. Yes, Alex,
And
go
we
ahead.
have a new HB, new fastest.
Yep, the Alpine sets the fastest lap and just goes straight on into turn two. That is very characteristic of you to see the tires having no grip there. So that's 39.8, very good lap from the Alpine there. Maybe that was more representative of what we can expect in Q3 or the final top 10 shootout. So interesting, quite interesting. That seems like HP has the pace around here, but I would not count Rahul or Catty out from this. Hunter also looks very close, so we might have a four-way battle for pole right here, gentlemen.
Absolutely. And considering that both the Merc boys, I'm surprised that Simply Whitey hasn't yet put in a lap time. Probably is on a hot lap right now. But yeah, both the Merc boys having 5 place grid penalties is gonna hurt them for sure. And they will want to get as high up the grid as possible to minimize the damage done. Can we go on board HB58 immediately to check if there is rain? Because for some reason I felt that there was a slight spray. I don't know. My eyes might be deceiving me. Doesn't seem
Doesn't
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, my
Uh,
bad.
But
I don't think there is no.
yep. So
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it's going to rain, but if it does, oh boy, that's another spanner into the works.
Absolutely. Ooh, locking up a lot. But again, he's on an in lap, so it really doesn't matter. But those are the tires he has to use during the race. So he'll have to go very carefully.
What is going on there? Why is simply slowing down and nearly blocking the path of Star Max Lord going into turn one? So I think they are. If I see yeah, the other Mercedes is on track, so I feel they're going to choreograph us another slipstream moment right there. So we might want to keep an eye on the two Mercs going on.
Well,
But
yeah, go on,
yep.
SD.
Yeah, so I was thinking, let's go on board Starmer slot. I think he's no, never mind. I think he has backed off. So let's stay on board Red Skull until he finishes the lap, the current lap he's on. Seems like he's going to do a 41 mid, and yeah, he does, and safely into the top 10. But still, uh, if my 41.7 is right, it's inside. But I feel people have gotten their bearings together, and I think they have improved everything. So yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, T3K9 is the only one who can improve if he wants to and pull someone out like AJ Sam probably out of the top 10. But yeah, everyone, if you've noticed, SD, have gone on to a set of softs. Not many people on the mediums. Um, and on that note, Alex, if you can quickly check if you're showing us the current tire or the best tire lap time. Because if it's the best tire, then it's a whole different story. Yeah, it is the best tire lap times. So that means that there's only one driver who's on the mediums and securely in the top 10, and that's Catty. And yeah, that's going to be very beneficial. He's just put in one lap. That's a 40.4. It isn't very far off from the fastest lap as well of 139.8. So yeah, that's brilliant from him. Could help him in the race could help him dividends in the race actually.
Yep, that might have been a perfect and well, like he hit every apex if I'm not wrong. So That was a very good lap. 40.4 is quite decent on mediums, I would say, for the Xbox boys. So it'll be interesting to see. We have, I think, Stealthy Sunny also progressing in quali as of now, and AJ Sam is just on the cusp of losing out. But I think T3K9 has to improve by a second to push him down into the knockout zone. So we will see. As let's go on board Hunter Vanguard as he's in the middle sector, just approaching the castle section as he has set a purple sector one, tries to chuck the car into the castle section, threads the needle, threads the throttle, and gets a pretty good castle section, I would say, Harry. And as he exits the castle section, there's a long sweeping left-hander here. You do not lift here as the car has a lot of downforce as we go downhill into the braking zone to one of the tighter corners here. The wall on the outside closes as you go on the exit as you set yourself up for technically basically the final corner of the track before the two kings, the left and the right, as your full throttle around 300 k's on the apex of the second right hand or the right hander. There's another small kink which doesn't count as a corner, and then you wait for the DRS activation line as you try to take the shortest line to the start finish line, and that's around 39.7.
Boy, that's a very good lap by Hunter.
Yep, I think the 5 place grid penalty has not phased him at all, and he's trying to qualify on pole or do his best and start as high as possible before he has to serve his 5 place grid penalty. So that's a good way to handle at the face of adversity, is it, Harry?
Absolutely. Actually, now that you're talking about it, I'm really intrigued to know why he even did that second lap purely on the basis of tire sets preservation, and he was already P2 with 140 flat. So he was already going to go to Q3 for sure. There was no doubt about it. But either the only answer I could see, or the only reasoning I could give to that was he wanted to use another set of softs and take care of it properly. The previous set must have probably gotten worn out too much for his liking, or something like that in the race, in the long run.
Yep, I think we do know that, and also given that it's a game, I think people are trying to. I'm very optimistic. I think people are trying to show off what they can do. So that might be practicing for a Q3 lap, which would have he would be in the zone right now because he has done a very good lap. He'll try to replicate what he did on this lap in the next qualifying session. So I think he's a very good spot to get that pole position, or maybe a pole position before the penalties kick in.
Absolutely. So that means Q2 is ended, and we have three drivers in the top 10 starting on the mediums. And now, when they go in for the shootout for pole, they will all have a chance to start from pole. In fact, they're not very slow guys either. They're very pacey guys. Catty, Stealthy Sunny, and AJ Sam. I would say Catty is the favorite out of the three medium runners, but let's not take away any credit from Hunter and HB58 who put in sub 139, sub 140 laps. I hope my English was correct over there. But yeah, that shows what is there coming up in Q3 from these boys. They will definitely go a little bit faster. The conditions are also favorable. The track temperatures are down. Overcast is a beautiful, uh, you know, track conditions, weather conditions to put in hot laps in, because you can push the car absolutely to the limit. You do not have to bother about too much of tire heating, too much of degradation as well. I'm not sure to what level the game can simulate these particular aspects or these characteristics of the tire, but yeah, they definitely do play a role.
Yep. The temperature does. I don't think it's that important. Also, having said that, the qualifying order here is not that important. Of course, you would want to be at the pole position or at the front of the pack, staying away from any accidents that happen. But I think there is ample amount of opportunities uh, given to the back runners, people who have damage from the first lap, and with the safety car being on. So we are going to go into the shootout right now with, I think, four drivers in the running for pole. So it'll be interesting to see who can actually nail their lap time, be consistent throughout every single corner here, and get that golden pole position. Like,
Absolutely. Rahul is hot from win as well, if not on track, off track, because even on track he got the P1, I think. But he had a 5-second penalty that didn't let him get the win on track. It pushed him to P2 or P3. But yeah, he is gonna start his hot lap. He is starting down the straight, that start finish straight that is so long, and it takes an eternity to get to the end of it and into turn one. That you might even sleep through it. I don't know. It's so easy to lose concentration down the straight. Let's go on board Rahul for the whole lap. Stay on board him and check out how he's doing the lap. Going to turn one, goes as wide as possible, takes whole of the curve, brakes a little late probably, misses the apex a bit, but not by much. He maintains the cornering speed necessary. He's gone down to second. Probably third would have given him the best cornering speed there, but it's not very easy to control as well. But nonetheless, they were clean and perfect for chance at pole. Just perfect over there, slightly kisses the wall. The walls are always close through the second sector and the ending of sector 1 as well. Going into, he's got in the purple sector 1, that's because he's the first out of the whole grid to put in a timed lap. Going towards the castle section, he cradles that curve perfectly. Now let's see if he's able to cut in perfectly over there. Does it perfectly fine as well. Takes the line, yeah, bang on the throttle. He gets the traction he needs. So important, because the wheel spin, like as he had told, is always a big negative for drivers around this track. He gets that turn as well perfect. He just kisses the inside curb, and up to the final corner, at least for me, because I do not see how the other corners coming up are even considered corners, because they're just a kink on the track. But yeah, perfectly takes each and every one of those corners as smoothly with minimum steering input, which helps to keep the speed down the start finish straight. DRS wide open, just praying that this lap is good enough for pole. He crosses the line and goes in with a 140.1.
Interesting. It's not as quick as the times that we have seen from other drivers in Q2. So the game is on for the others, because I think 40.1 is not enough for pole, given that people have done 39.7 in the previous session. So either the track has slowed down, or Rahul does not have pace. And as we see that Catty puts a time which is 6/10 faster than Rahul, and that's a very good lap from Catty right there, showing how comfortable he is around this track.
Well, I think just as you made the statement about the track not being up there, Catty seems to be the only driver on track who has been able to go into the 39s, and that too not by a little. He's gone into the 39 mid, that's 39.5. So that is absolutely beautiful lap. It's a shame we missed that lap, to be honest. But nonetheless, a perfect lap from him. He has provisional pole with 7 minutes to go in qualifying. That's Q3, the shootout for pole. Hunter is in P2, not close at all, because he's 6/10 away. P2 and P3 is being closely contested. It's just 4/100ths of a second separating them at the moment. Red Skull is in P4 at the moment with a 147, and the other drivers are all in the 141s, which I think is not really that competitive, but they do have faster lap times coming in. Both the Red Bull drivers close on track. We just
They are on the cooldown lap, so I think it's not a big concern.
right.
But I think Contra Bobby is taking too hard on the in lap, because
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
he's just using up his tires before. But anyway, he doesn't need to start on this set, so that's not a big deal. But still, just wasting away some precious tire wear there by pushing to the in lap. We have more
Absolutely.
than 6 minutes to go. Oh my god! I
Exactly.
was so close right there. He might get disqualified for reversing on track, but luckily, for the sake of the stream, he doesn't. So yeah, there is no need for taking such high cornering speeds there. And as we see, Star Max Lord clattering that curve and nearly losing it and ending his session right there. So both the Red Bull drivers are taking it quite on the edge today, at least in this
Yeah.
session.
And unnecessarily on the edge is what I would want to tell, because that was their in laps, if I'm not wrong. It makes sense that they were on their in laps, and yep, we will have to wait and watch. Can we go on board the second Red Bull, which is coming down the straight? Are they both on the in laps just to have a look and check on whether they are on the in laps. Definitely on the in laps. Yeah, definitely on the in laps. Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you. So,
I think let's. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think let's go on board AJ Sam. I think he is, or maybe stealthy. Is he starting? No, I think he's coming into the lap, into the pits as well. So I think AJ Sam is the next driver to start his quali lap for Q3. So let's go on board for this lap because everyone else will be on in the pits. Yeah. So let's go on board AJ Sam for his lap around the Baku Street Circuit. As I say that, Stellison does a second lap on his tires. It was 40.4, quite decent on that for the second run. I think he's struggling with tire warm up, which is quite rare here. So maybe he needs another lap to show his true pace. Now let's hop on board AJ Sam as he tries to set a lap quick enough for pole position today. Moving into the first braking zone, you have to be halfway over the curb to get a good turn in, hits the apex and gets a very wide exit. Very good ride around there. Second corner, don't try to hit this curb, go as wide as possible, get an exit on the fourth gear because I think that's the best traction you'll get out of the corner. Moving up through the gears, DRS open, hitting around 320 before the braking zone at 100-meter board. Don't hit this curve. Try to go as wide as possible before you straighten the car for the right-hander here. Very understeery corner. It looks very deceptive, but you can easily lose time around there as you go to the wide left-hander. Very easy to overshoot and do not hit that curve. He did. You lose him at least a tenth as he moves closer and closer into the crasher section. A double right, do not cut it too much. He actually cut it perfectly right there. Now the infamous cal section, fourth gear should be, man takes in second for some reason. I mean, still at least not hitting the wall, and his lap is still valid. Fourth gear exit, and then again, as I said before, sweeping left-hander, do not hit the curve on the entry, do not hit it on the exit. As you straighten your car for the downhill left-hander, make sure not to go too wide, but also make sure to get a good exit around there. As you go to the pseudo final corner, do not hit the inside curve. He did not go too wide, and he gets a very good exit for the final two kinks. Hits it perfectly, hits the second one perfectly. This looks like a low 40 lap. I do not think he's going to challenge Catty anywhere, but I might be wrong as he opens up his DRS, takes the shortest line to the line. No, he doesn't. Takes the longest line for some reason as he sets a 40.2. And yeah, that's nowhere near what Catty was said. So I'm really interested to see what lap time, like how Catty did his lap, because that looked like a mega lap on today.
let's go on board HB58 for a second because I think he's going to get a beautiful slipstream on his hot lap from the Red Bull in front of him or the Red Bull's V-wing. Ooh.
That was very close right there. I mean, it might look close by the camera, but I think on the cockpit it might look very scary because you're going full throttle. The guy ahead is just weaving into your line, so that's very scary. And he might have lost a tenth or two because I think he might have to get out of throttle. But nevertheless, D takes the shortest line and goes P2. This is our second guy to tonight going below sub 40. So that's a very good lap from HP right now.
Well, it was a good lap, but he has given the Red Bull of the Red Bull of Starmax, I think, a perfect slipstream down the start-finish straight. It was absolutely perfect. It was the right time to give the slipstream and the right time to get out of the slipstream. I mean, get out from the way of the Red Bull driver as well. Let's see how Starmax Lord is able to use that slipstream to his advantage. As we see his teammate Contra Bobby getting all kinds of squirmy on the exit of turn 2.
Yep, just as we onboard Starmax Lord, I think Rahul is just trailing Catty and getting a very good slipstream going on, and I think Rahul pits for some reason. That's very interesting. That might be his session over. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's his session over, and he has gone. He's P4. Oh, he goes wide, and he still keeps the lap. I am really interested to understand how
you can do that. You can go wide there if you literally just delay your throttle input by a tenth or maybe like half a tenth. Get away with it, but it's not the fastest line around there, definitely.
Okay, then that kind of gives me some kind of what do you say, consolation, because if that is the way to go fast, then I'm interested to look at a way to practice it so that I can use it for the tier 1 race. Not even gonna lie, that's interesting. But yeah, just as we say that, let's wait and see how Star Max Lord does with this lap where he got a mega slipstream from Stealthy Sunny. He
Expecting
goes.
P3?
Nope, P6.
No.
Ooh.
It's quite
So,
close. The midfield is quite close.
yeah, actually, now that you mentioned it, HP58 is the only driver who was able to get even close to Catty, and that also is a 3/10 slower lap. 3/10 slower lap. So the other drivers on laps right now seems to be Simply Whitey for sure, because he is going through the final pseudo final corner, as SD mentioned. I'm going to copy you there, SD. Gets a bang on exit, I think, and we'll have to wait and see if he maintains that speed without scrubbing too much. Perfectly shifts the gear. If you ask me, that's the right way to do it. Catty goes even faster with a 39.2.
Untouchable, untouchable tonight. That's
Absolutely.
very good lap from Cat. That's nearly esports level, I would say.
Wow. And Simply Whitey goes on to P3. So the Merc boys have done amazing just for just not that. That's not enough because of those 5 place grid penalties they've gotten in game.
They might be literally kicking themselves because they are ahead of the sole Ferrari right now, who is P5 of Rahul. But they might be kicking themselves with the silly error that they did in Q1. It's definitely going to hurt them starting order. But
Wow.
as I said that, Hunter banged out with a lap which would have been quick enough if Catty had not improved. So it's a very good lap from Hunter right there, and that's P2 for him. But we know there's going to be P7, but it's definitely very bright for him, because I think in the race, if he can manage to be at least a 10th or maybe trading blows with Catty, that might actually keep him in the hunt for the win. So yeah, that is going to be really interesting.
Absolutely, and that's probably so. There's only 4 drivers who've gotten into the 39s. I did not mention it, but Simply Whitey has very slyly just gotten into the 39s. If you ask me, Stealthy Sunny is on a lap and he has finished his qualifying with a 140 flat. I think I didn't tell the name right, but it was Simply Whitey who got the 39.8, and I was talking about who's in P4 right now. Apologies for that. So yeah, brilliant laps from the Merc boys. They have done quali perfectly fine except for that Q2 mix-up which costed them 5 place grid penalties. So just as you mentioned, SD, that they'll be kicking themselves for sure.
Yep, I was really happy to see Hunter getting within 2.5 tenths or within 3 tenths of Cathy, because until unless the last moments of Q3, there was no one who was even within 5 tenths of Cathy. So it's a very good lap from Cathy. If he can keep this up, that's definitely win in the bag. But as we already see, there is nothing sure shot in F1. Anything can happen. A safety car will ruin your race. You might be waiting for whatever lap number it is till the final corner and still can lose it with just small errors. So let's not go ahead of ourselves. But here's the final order, finishing order, and your top 10 finishers for the quali session. So that's Catty on pole with 39.2, 2.5 tenths in front of Hunter. We have HB58 Gaming with a very good uh, lap of 39.8 in P3. We have the second Mercedes of Simply Whitey, who will be starting down the order in P8. We have Stealthy Sunny, the sole Ferrari of Rahul, AJ Sam, Star Max Lord, the first of the Red Bulls. We have Red Skull, and we have Controverby, who is going to round the top 10 for tonight in quali.
Yeah, and the only 3 teams to have both drivers in Q3 were Merc, Alpine, and Red Bull. So it is very useful for them. Will be good points also probably for them, because if they can convert it in the race provided, because we have seen how unpredictable it has become these races in F1, where anyone and everyone's able to come and probably lead in the race, if not win it. But yeah, we'll have to see. And yes, Ojas, Cathy is still OP, I guess. You seem to be as surprised, not surprised, but as awestruck as us is the right word to use, I guess, because that was a brilliant lap. The 39.5 itself was a lap which had us all struck, but the 39.2, wow, 3/10 in his final run must have been a lap of masterpiece, and we just couldn't get both those laps. Apologies, but yeah, they are beautiful. They must have been beautiful laps. We'll ask Catty if he wins for sure after the race.
So, SD, what do you think? What are your top?
Yep. So let's go and move on to the predictions. Thank you, Alex, for giving us the cue. But uh, we did see Catty on pole last weekend as well. I'm not 100% sure if I'm right there, but he needs to keep it clean. Last weekend, I think he had a very unfortunate moment of hitting Rahul or maybe someone. I'm not 100% sure about it, but yeah, he did. He was also quite up the order in the last weekend, but still could not keep that position. But if he can keep it clean and the safety car doesn't hinder him much, I expect a Catty win tonight, given that he's quite quick around here and the pole position performance. Uh, I still think that Rahul might uh, put a good comeback tonight. Expect him to be around P2 or P3, and I expect one of the Mercedes drivers of Rahul. I think Hunter to be in P3, given that he was also quite quick and this 5 place kit window should not hinder him much. So my top three tonight is Catty, Rahul, and Hunter. What about you guys?
What about you, Harry?
Well, I don't know what to say because this is gonna sound very odd, but I know that Contented Mink has a lot of pace in him, and that starting position does not do justice to his pace. He's in P14 at the moment. He retired in Q1 itself, but I think he's gonna be up there in the podium positions. I will not pull myself too much ahead, go ahead too much by telling he's in P1, but he might get a P3 after a lot of incidents in safety cars. That's another prediction I'm slightly putting into the predictions for the top three. And Catty will have a P1, like SD said. He should be getting a P1 if not for any incidents like his Spa race. And I think P2, well, I want to give it to one of the Mercedes drivers. Hunter definitely had the pace for it, but last race again, like I said, I think he retired or had a major incident that put him almost a lap or a pit stop behind. I'm sorry, a pit stop behind the rest of the grid. So more than Hunter, I think I will put that for Rahul because Rahul has a good chance at P2. So it's just that he has to keep it clean and utilize that amazing race pace he showed us in Spa, and he could get the P2. So that's Catty P1, Rahul P2, and Contented Mink at P3. A double Ferrari podium is what I am expecting.
What about you, Alex? That's a really good prediction from Harry. Very detailedly explained. And what about you, Alex?
I would say Content and Mink P1. As I played with him like more than a year, I know his pace. I think he'll get P1 if the weather doesn't change. And P2, I'll go for Simply. No reason, but I just like. And P3, Catty.
That's a very bold prediction from Alex because Contender is starting down right last
In
for tonight
P14.
race. Although, P14. But I think, as I said before, the safety car does give you a good amount of opportunity to post
Yes.
a good comeback here around here. Having said that,
If
you can easily lose it. Since you're starting last, you'll be into the mix of people fighting themselves to their death until they crash out. So we are interested to see if you can make the lap one out without any damage. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a good race tonight.
yeah, lobby restart happened. No,
Sorry?
sorry, my bad.
I think they
Okay.
are readying up. Yep, they're readying
Alright.
up
I
soon.
thought it was going to be a lobby restart for a second. I
Yeah,
was gonna
don't think that was the case, but
all
yeah.
that tire conservation would have gone down the drain, and that's even more worse than the PC F1 boys who go only for 18 minutes for quali. These guys have spent almost an hour in quali, and if you have to lobby restart, that's going to be a big bummer now that I think about it.
Yep, I
Alright,
think
so we are ready for the lights out.
I think there is
Oh yeah,
the
there's a
formation lap.
formation lap. Yeah, my
Yeah,
bad.
I got
Sorry.
caught out last weekend, and this weekend it was Alex. So next weekend, by this trend, it's going to be Harry. So
I do not think.
let's not
I do not think so.
let's not be too predictable. But yeah, formation lap. The procedure I would say that I would follow is not to scrub your tires too much. Do hit them. Do get the temperature up because you need them and you need a good start around here if you're in the top two because if the guy on the inside gets a better start than you are bound to lose a position because people are quite bold into turn one here and if you're on the inside you can easily block the other guy's path and get that position in. So The top two need to be very careful. It's not a long straight. Of course, you're not going to get slipstream, but you might be set up because the corners ahead are very easy to be slipstreamed for. So it'll be interesting.
All right. Quickly, Alex, if we can get the telemetry and the lap data on, and let's also get the tire. Keep it on interval, yeah. And let's get the tire detail on as well for now. We got the positions changed after a lap or two so that we can see how well these guys have made their race starts. And with that, in the top 10, we have 5 people on mediums. Okay. I might have.
Complete.
Something
Yeah.
surprising, actually.
It really went out of my head that Catty was on mediums because he set his lap on Q2 on mediums. So, yeah, HP has a lot. Like he can get the lead into turn one today, because the soft tires give you a lot more grip. But having said that, he himself has to get a good start to have a chance to move down the inside into turn one. So yeah, it's a battle of between soft and medium tires there.
Absolutely, and well, there are 4 people in the top 10, so who are gonna be on the medium tires. 5 people, I'm sorry. So it's an even split in the top 10 between mediums and softs. That's a proper strategy battle that we could see today, and I hope the medium runners will have the maturity to not battle too much on track, because the soft runners will definitely have the pace and the grip and the start as well from the grid slots. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how these drivers are evolving, because I'm interested to see that. That's a very these small details do define how well you do in such in the sim racing world, to be honest. And as we say that, let's go on board KT immediately, so that we can see how the race start goes. Let's go. Yeah, that's the perfect camera. We have 3 lights, 4, 5 lights on, lights off, and away we go. Catty seems to have gotten the perfect start. Ooh, a slight slippery start for HP, and he gets overtaken by his teammate, thank God. Rahul has dropped down a few places, but that's fine because he's on the mediums. Both the Alpines got a perfect start over there. Stealthy getting, ooh, and a spun around AJ over there in the middle of the track, and someone's lost.
That's a championship contender losing this wing already. Rahul has lost his wing and he's downright P13 right now. That is not what I think he would have wanted, as we have a VSC on right now. But I think AJ Sam and Rahul collided, getting on the exit of turn 2. Interesting. Did not expect that at all. And we have many people without a wing. Face Fighter completely lost his wing, and Ferrari trying to overtake. Man, you cannot do that right now. But that's a very good start from Catty. Keeps his positions. Stealthy Sunny overtakes or gets a jump on his teammate HP, and I think HP was quite eager on the throttle, which was his downfall right there. So that's an interesting start. And Contra Bobby also has lost his wing, so we might have missed a lot of contact into turn one by going on board in the top one. So yeah, Harry, what do you make of the start?
Actually, before we make anything of the start, now I'm interested to see what the other. Oh, we're back racing. Well, now I'll try to talk about what was happening. I think the start was fine till we realized how many people lost their front wings, because the person in I think P6, that's Contra Bobby, does not have a front wing, and Face Fighter in P8 doesn't have a front wing, and I think AJ and Rahul also have damage, which they will have to box for right now. Face Fighter, as we expected, dropping down the order. The top 4 are kind of pulling away from the rest of the field right now.
That's a huge gap. Sorry to cut you off. That's a huge gap already. It's around 5 seconds in the first lap. So yeah, that is not going to help them at all. Oh,
Contended Ming.
Shows us how to wall ride around Baku.
Actually, they're all diving into the pits. Ooh, okay. Contended Ming must have gotten that. Sorry, SD. I think Contended Ming must have gotten that damage just at the entry. I think both the Ferrari boy. No, Rahul has stayed out. Can we go on board Rahul 94 for a second, 941 for a second, because I want to see if he's carrying any damage. He doesn't seem to be having any visible damage. That is shocking, because I definitely saw him going into the McLaren of AJ Sam and spinning, and also carefully doing a 4-point turn to go the straight way, the right way.
I think he got really lucky right there, because I think maybe AJ spun on his own. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think AJ spun on his own. Rahul was just collected, or was at the wrong time at the wrong moment. So wrong place at the wrong moment. So yeah, that's he has around 15 seconds already to catch up on Catty, which is going to be very difficult to make up on this track unless a safety car. So yeah, interesting. The Aston Martins have fallen right back at the back of the field, and AJ Sam along with it. So Hunter Vanguard as well, losing a lot of time and places. So interesting. Definitely throws a big if to their race. But we have everyone, most of them switching as we see Rahul making a move on simply, quite easy right there. And AJ Sam has left the session. So yeah, it goes from bad to worse for him.
I don't know if that is an issue with his game or if he rage left, because he was having a fight with Face Fighter in turn 3 probably in sector 1, and yeah, I think there was an incident. There were even some yellow flags in sector 1 because of that, and yeah, I don't know. He had an incident for sure. He's going very slowly on track because it's his AI probably. But in the meantime, we'll go back to that in a minute. Contented Mink, fresh mediums, a long way to go in the race. He's going down the straight right now, trying to make a move on Contra Bobby. Let's go on board Rahul right now.
Sorry to cut you off, Harry, but I think we might have a lobby restart on our for some reason. I am not 100% sure. But yeah, let's commentate on the move that we see on track right now as Contented Mix sends it down the inside. Not sure if he's side by side. They are still side by side. Red Bull tried to stick his nose as we see a Mercedes in front of them, and Rahul Contented Mix gets the move done.
Yeah,
But
okay. Sorry to interrupt. There is a lot.
Yeah,
what happened though? That we did not see any glitches on our screen.
Yeah,
Not
even
sure.
Sam actually sent me something. One
Not
second.
sure. Not sure what the main reason is, but I mean, if they comment, the coordinators have
Lobby
decided for
restart
it.
happens only for any
Yeah.
die at turn one. So, and should give proof. Okay, yeah, there is a lobby.
Well, SD, I think we will live with it because this is what the Xbox coordinators are going to
Yep.
decide right now. Ooh, yeah. Well, lobby restarts do show us some amazing drives on track for that little bit of time. I want to see how people are dying on track right now because they go straight and all out and try to crash into people. Well, everyone's left the session, I think.
I hope Red Skull show us some magic.
Well, Red Skull is still driving normally.
Oh,
I
saw the
think what
Ferrari.
he's. Ooh, well, I'm stupid. IRC Xbox version probably, but but Red Skull right now seems to be driving in a way where he thinks he's gotten the lead set because everyone has left the session, and he must be thinking, what is happening here?
Why did Rahil join on? People are joining again. I don't know. Okay, yeah, everyone has left.
It's all right. We'll have a round two of the donating wings to the track. So let's see how that goes here. Hopefully they can keep it quite like they can have a better turn one right there because we don't want anyone to lose their wing and have a bad race. So yeah, the gaps were already ridiculous after lap one. I think it was like 20 seconds at 1.2 from P4 to P5. So that was really not cool. And I think I'm not 100% sure about the reason for restart. Maybe it was because of the carnage that happened in turn one. Maybe it was a game glitch. But
I think there was only two cars in.
yep, let's not speculate much on this. I think coordinators have had a fair good reason to have a restart. So let's wait. We will have a good chat until the lobby is restarted with the custom grid. So Harry, I don't know how much of the start you caught, but I think that it was quite okay for up until P4 and P5. It's where or turn two especially where everything went sour for everyone.
Absolutely. Actually, it was the McLaren of AJ Sam that we first saw spinning, and I think now that I'm trying to recall exactly what happened, and I'm getting some time to think about it. We had Face Fighter and Contra Bobby also without front wings, so probably there must have been some contact between Contra Bobby and AJ Sam, which gave both of them issues. AJ Sam got spun around, and then Rahul just managed to escape from that by going to through the gap on the outside, but got spun around as well. So yeah, all of that put together, it was a mess at turn 2. But Stealthy Sunny got an amazing jump on his teammate, thank God. HB58 did not lose positions to anyone else. He had a squirmy start on the softs, must have been a little too confident and expected too much grip from those softs, probably.
Yep, this is going to give the soft runners fresh set of tires, which is going to be really important around this track. So just as we had in Tier 1 last weekend, a restart definitely resets all the tire wear. Gives you a fresh set of tires to carry out or to race on the first stint. So it's beneficial for the soft runners, but still, again, uh, the Baku being a street circuit and the wall so close, anything can happen. No one can be sure of anything.
Absolutely, like we saw that struck Ferrari in Castle section, though it was after the restart was announced. That was beautiful to see, though. So close to real life. But yeah, we have to take into consideration that the restart puts all of the tire conservation and thought process gone into a 1 hour long quali. So I feel so bad for these guys even thinking about it compared to us. We just have an 18-minute quali, so we really don't, sweat it out in terms of tire wear. But these guys are sweating it out for tire wear, making sure that they have the right, you know, uh, tire sets and saving up some tires if necessary because of such scenarios where safety cars can need expect to happen a lot. And yeah, those tires, those extra softs or extra mediums will come in very handy towards the end of the race.
Yep. All right.
If you can
Think,
mute yourself, Alex, sorry.
uh, gives me the vibes of being in the hospital for some reason. But
Yeah,
it's all right.
actually, that
It gives
actually
me some
did.
bad memories right now. But all right, not a big deal. But uh, yeah, interesting. It looks unlikely that we're going to have a same what do you call same form of carnage. Maybe I hope my words don't come to haunt me. But we will see how these guys they had a practice of start around Baku, and I think they will keep it civil. But Harry, what do you think? What's going to happen right now? Just give us our top three again, because I think, given with the new datas that we have of the fresh tires and maybe people being a bit cautious around the race start, so what do you think is going to
Well, the only moment I saw my biggest dark horse, that is Contended Mink, uh, being shown on in that
happen?
race, in
Hello?
that short race.
Yeah, I think you're cutting off. Your mic is.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, sorry about that. So the only moment I think we saw Contended Mink, my biggest dark horse in the race, who was expected to come P3 in my books, he had missed that kink into the long 1.1 kilometer straight probably, and he lost his front wing and pit. So he did make good progress though. From P14 he went all the way to P7 in that first lap itself, which still keeps me strong. My gut feeling my gut feeling is that he will get onto the podium for sure. Well, Rahul, now I'm getting a little skeptical about how it is, but he somehow managed to survive and not get front wing damage. So his survival skills still keeps him a contender for me for P2. And Catty was just putting fastest lap after fastest lap, perfectly keeping in front of the two Alpines. So I think I'll still keep the Alpines out of my top three and put Catty in P1. So I'm not going to change it.
Yep. The Alpines did not see that those two were so close on the track. I was actually quite surprised to see them 2 and 3. I think it might have been I went over them without actually giving too much thought. But yep, the Alpines are in the mix. But given the race pace, I am not sure. I have a bit doubts of the race pace. But we'll see how it turns out, as I think the lobby is still being made. So we might have to wait for a couple of minutes more. But you can have a nice chat. You can chat with the audience if they are here. Do send us a question if you want us to answer, because I think we're literally running out of ideas to speak on right now. So,
Well, on that note, Sanket Sharma has asked us something about which tier this is, because he's new to the channel. He's a new viewer. Well, Sanket, we're IRC, as you can see, and on Thursdays we stream our Xbox tier. So this is the Xbox console version of the game, and these guys also have a league of their own, um, or a tier of their own, I should say, not a league. But yeah, they race on Thursdays at 9 p.m. is when we stream. We also have an other tiers on the PC version of the game, which is tier 1, tier 2, and tier 2020. That's tier 2020 is the tier that runs on the 2020 game, since not everyone have switched to the 2021 game. So tier 2020 is on Sundays at 2:30. Tier 1 is at 8 p.m. If there is no F1 race on the weekend, and tier 2 is on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Correct me if I'm wrong, SD.
Nope, you're absolutely right.
Thank you. So yes, that's a short weekly schedule of streams for you, Sanket. Hope to see you as one of our viewers over the weekend, towards the weekend as well, in the 3-tier races.
Yep, we do have other active games. If you're if you're interested in them, of course, we have ACC. That's season 4 coming up soon. I think the announcement has gone live on Discord already, and our social media it will be up tomorrow. Do look out for that post soon. But yeah, we have other races. F1 is our primary game as we speak, but we do not like to discriminate among games, if that's even a term or even a meaning or somewhere. So we are quite open to all the games that we have the community plays. So on a league side, we have the 2 leagues that's going to be running up soon. That's the F1 League and the ACC League. So we have Fridays set up for ACC. So to catch us live streaming those races on Fridays, I think around 8:30 or 9 around that time. So yeah, look forward to more content on YouTube. We also have a lot of in the pipeline, which hopefully you guys are excited about in the future. So we're trying to improve the content that we put out and maybe put in some extra content for you guys soon if you have the bandwidth in our team to do so. So do watch out for more content on the
Absolutely, and well, like I said, like SDS said as well, ACC has been a huge success in the previous season. We had season 3, if I'm not wrong, last. We're going into our 4th season. So season 3 was, in my opinion, a huge success because of the attendance we got. We got almost 25 to 30 cars 25 to 30 drivers every race, and we had a couple of endurance rounds thrown in for the into the mix as well. So yeah, these are interesting. That's an interesting league, and we will wait and see how it goes as well. Do come and watch our ACC streams as well. In the meantime, our boys have readied up. They are slowly loading into the session. They're probably getting their grid slots probably set, the grid set according to the quali finishing standings. And well,
30 seconds.
Yeah, that's a countdown for us. Thank you for that cue as well, Alex. So we will wait on them as we talk a little about this coming weekend as well as these. So first, my question would be, is the 2021 game the same pace difference between consoles and the PC game as the previous game?
So I have not compared the games across 2 consoles or 2 devices this year, but last year 2020 Xbox and the consoles in general were a bit quicker because you could be able to take the curve much more on the consoles compared to PC. So you were around a tenth or 2 or maybe at max 4 tenths quicker than PC. But I think this year it's quite equal. We saw people in 39s, low 39s, which is, to be honest with you, where our tier 1 pace will be, if I'm not wrong. Maybe they are going to the 38s. I'm pretty sure they'll go into the 38s, but this 39s, 38s is basically where if you can normalize the 2 consoles is going to be same. So I feel the console is a bit equal or at most a bit slower this year, but don't quote me on that because I have not done my research on that. But on first thoughts, it looks like the console is maybe a tenth slower this year compared to PC.
Well, thank you, SD. As I say that, Hemant from the chat has asked, won't the new lobby put everyone on fresh tires? Yes, Hemant, it will, but they will be the top 10 will be restricted to tire choice. They can only take the tires that they did their Q2 sessions on, so they have to remember their tires. But they will be starting with 0% wear. So yeah, that does put a lot of questions into the mix, because I can give you a live example from the previous weekend spa race in PC Tier 1, where it was a lobby restart, and well, I was on a fresh set of softs, so it did help me in the race to you know, support my teammate, and we supported each other well. RB as well is my teammate, by the way. We were the McLaren drivers. So yeah, the fresh tires will throw a lot of new variables into the mix, which I have not taken into consideration when I predicted how the race would turn out. But to be honest, I don't think I want to change that top three at all, because of how um, how different I have predicted it as. I'm kind of proud of how I did that. But yeah, moving on, we have to wait and see how it changes the race or the way people drive in the restart.
Yeah, I think the boys are setting up the custom grid. I think we'll be up and running shortly. So keep an eye on the restart. I think it'll be some moments away right now, but not sure if there'll be a formation lap. I cannot say right now. Probably they will skip on the formation lap, given the time is already being quite stretched out tonight due to the restart. So we might just go directly into the 5 red lights and the start of the race. But yeah, let's look forward to it. I think they might be reading up soon, if I'm not wrong. So we will switch on to the scene soon. But yeah, interesting start to the race. Yet again, we go all control, all delete, and restart completely. So another chance for drivers at the back to have a better restart. People can mess up. People can have a much worse restart than the start. So we'll all be set in the next couple of minutes.
Absolutely, and well, I see a DRS train forming within the top four at the race start. To be honest, because of how it was in the previous lobby, they were doing a lot of what do you say? The top three, top four actually. I think it was the Red Bull of Starmax Lord who was in P4, and he was not in the DRS range yet, but he was closing in on the top three of KT, Stealthy Sunny, and HB58. So yeah, DRS trains could be a thing. And speaking of DRS trains, it reminds me of the F1 esports race of yesterday. Oh my god, what a DRS train it was in Monza. They were always within a couple of tenths to each other. Almost the whole grid was within a couple of tenths of each other. It was an exciting race, wheel to wheel action.
10 seconds.
Thank you, Alex, for that. We will wait for them to get on track, as the loading screen does take some time for some people. But in the meantime, so SD, you change your predictions. You asked me about my top three predictions. What about you?
I am going to stick with what I had said before, because I think given the lobby restart, I think Catty might will get a similar restart. He'll do note that he'll be on fresher medium, so that's going to be a much better thing for him moving into the race. So yeah, I'm going to stick with my top three. That's going to be Catty, it's going to be Rahul, and it's going to be Hunter Vanguard. What about you, Alex?
Sorry, what?
What do you are going to change your top three predictions given the restart, or is going to stick with the
No,
same?
no, I still stick content and Mink.
All right.
Simply my idea.
Yep. Fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I will switch content and Mink to PC.
Your voice is cutting off. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, my internet. My bad.
It's all right.
It's fine. You can type it out in the YouTube chat if you want, and we can read it out from there. One of our commentators will also put in a little bit of activity into the chat.
Harry, they are about to take off. So
Yes,
we can
sir.
switch.
So, as we wait for our drivers to get their setups, very importantly, their setups during restarts, because it might slip out of your mind because you're used to going from quali to race and the setup stays with you. But now you have to get your setups, you have to get your tire strategies right. Remember, if you do not start on the same set of tires that you set your Q2 laps on for the top 10, well, then you are as good as disqualified from the race. No amount of driving will help you. You will be disqualified automatically. So I hope they, excuse me, I hope they do take their tires and their setups right, or else it's gonna be a race of torture for them, a 50% race of torture for them, for these drivers. In the meantime, go on, Alex.
Yeah, SD. So, what do you think?
The voice is cutting off. I'm sorry, I cannot catch it. It's all right.
I was saying, what tires most of the.
Yeah, so uh, if you have seen the last lobby, I think top five it was a halfway split, which they have to follow mandatory because they have qualified on the same set of tires. Just that they'll be getting a fresher set. That's it. Below top 10, I think everyone will be opting for mediums. But if you think you have the pace, I would say someone or like Contented might stick on the soft tires and try to overtake as many people as possible in the start of the race and make use of the safety car if possible. So yeah, interesting. I think it's going to be mediums throughout downwards because I think people won't take the strategy. But yeah, it's going to be 5 mediums and other 10 softs or either 9 softs. I think it's 8 seconds to go. I hope the safe formation lap will come.
There's no form.
Yep, Harry, as we see 5 red lights and it's lights out and away we go. HP gets a much better start than the previous lobby. He is not alongside still, and Catty has the lead as the two Alpines go side by side. One of them goes wide as we see 3 wide behind the McLaren, Red Bull, and the Mercedes, if I'm not, the Aston Martin. As Rahul and Rashkal go side by side, and Rahul slow for some reason there loses one place to Hunter, and I think can we get the telemetry and everything up because I think we might be able to see as people are going 3 wide going into turn 4 and there is no wing on Simply Whitey. So yep, that might explain him going straight on because he doesn't want to exit from the race. So yep, interesting start. There's one person who has lost his wing, but still it's much cleaner than the last lobby start, isn't Harry?
Absolutely. HB got a much better start. He has not lost much time. I mean, that's a 7/10 already that Catty is pulled out, and he is on the harder tire compound as well, whereas HB is the only soft compound tire. Oh, Red Skull is retired. Can we quickly go on board one of the drivers to check what has happened to him?
That is I am stupid moment right there, my friend, and we have the first safety car of tonight. It's already started on lap 1.
Wow. Wow. And the I am stupid moment was even worse because he must have probably made a steering correction going into the entry of Castle, and that would have caused him to hit the inside wall and probably lose a wheel. So I think that safety car, HB, will be interesting. Ooh, one of the Red Bull goes wide. Both Red Bulls are close to each other on track. Hunter had managed to get the move on Rahul into turn 2, as you checked or saw, caught on stream, SD, because wait, am I seeing Hunter trying to go into the pits? Yes, Hunter has dived into the pits. Oh my
Might
god.
have wing damage for that, but it's not the end of the world. He might put a set of hards.
Exactly.
Might be that as well.
I think they're going on to a set of mediums. Both these drivers were on softs, and they've gone on to a set of mediums now.
HP has opted for hards. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. He might actually make it till the end, but it's a very bold strategy. As both the Red Bulls pit as well. That's going to be a long stop for Star Max Lord.
Absolutely, and it's double stacking, so that's even worse because if not, I mean, it has helped Contra Bobby. It has not affected Contra Bobby, but it has affected Star Max Lord dearly, and he has lost a lot of time due to that double stack. Simply Whitey, well, he had a lot of damage. It will take him some time to get his car repaired, get a new front wing, and get out on track. Everyone from P6 all the way to P13 are on fresh set of mediums, except for HB58 who's on a fresh set of hards. He's trying to go to the end of the race, whereas the top 5 actually, are on the same set of tires they started with. It's fresh set of mediums. Remember that fresh set of mediums, which is just 1 lap old, and they're not even a whole lap of racing they've gone through. So they can take care of the tires very well behind the safety car. They are on no different tire sets compared to the rest of the grid, and this is a race on to the end. The soft runners have just I don't know, they've just brought themselves back into the game, maybe lost track position, and I don't know if you noticed, but
Ooh, Catty hits the wall there, is it? Lost the position. He is not allowed to re-overtake there. I think he might get a legal overtake there. Even if
I
he lost it, I think might be not allowed there to
I
overtake,
don't
isn't it?
know. I think he got the position back. I'm not sure what happened there. I think Catty is no, Catty is not anything fishy. I couldn't catch anything on the stream, but I think they must have gone side by side a bit, and Stealthy Sunny would have gotten an illegal overtake and must have given the place back to KT. That's the only reasonable explanation I can think of right now. But I was talking
Uh,
about something.
yep, go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I wanted to tell Contented Mink. Hello, Contented Mink. You are in P4.
Whoa, P4. Damn, that's a very good start from Kate. He's actually literally went over my
See,
head. Like
that's my prediction though.
he literally took advantage as
KT has
Catty
picked.
pits. Yep, he had lost it and lost the brink there. I was right in seeing that. I think he tried to warm up his tires a bit too eagerly as whoa, Contro Bobby and Face Fighter rear-ending each other, or I think it's Face Fighter rear-ending Contro, and that might be a 5-second penalty, which apparently has not yet been. What is going on? Is he desync for someone, or um, not sure what happened there in the incidents, as he did
Nope.
not get
We
any
did not
warning.
see anything. Exactly. Um, well, nothing to worry about. I guess we can go back and check the boys warming up their tires because that must have been that must have been a probably a slight desync or glitch issue. They're still fighting. Okay, they're not fighting.
What is
Face
going
Fighter
on?
has slowed down. I think he must have gotten too close
His
to
internet
Contra Bobby.
connection is his internet connection is very sus right now. This man is trying to. I think he's trying to slow down and heat up his tires, like accelerate, slow down, accelerate. But that's very dangerous if you're on the racing line because the guy behind cannot predict if you just slam on the brakes and try to warm up your tires.
Oh,
As we, what is going on? Oh my god! Contra Bobby gets a 5 seconds penalty. I'm definitely sure the internet connection was to blame there because I failed to believe that that was due to them crashing into each other on purpose. But what is going on? Seriously, this is really, really shambles behind the safety car.
excuse me about that, but yeah, I think Contra Bobby and Pace Fighter must have had some kind of a spicy moment on track. Contra Bobby has to safely go back to the pits and get a new front wing, and that has also costed Hunter Vanguard, unfortunately, who was just following these guys, couldn't brake in time because of the incident ahead, and he must have hit one of the cars and has gotten a 5-second penalty. Contra Bobby has gotten a drive-through for falling too far back. Am I
That
reading this right?
is that that is not. Oh my God! Safety car to put literally salt into the fire is going. This wound is going to be. Safety car is coming in this lap. It's going to send him much behind everyone. Oh, that has gone. The race has gone from bad to worse. I think might be due to Face Fighter's interconnection, if I'm not wrong, because he was glitching on our screen as we're getting ready to restart. Let's put everything aside right now. Let's
Well,
concentrate on
are
the top
they?
two restarting.
Are they? Because the
Uh,
safety car is just ahead of Stealthy Sunny
is it
and has just gone into the track.
that is the interesting restart from Stealthy, right there as I think he throttle got cut and Rahul sends it down the inside, going side by side. Stealthy gets a much better exit there. Rahul is still, I think, alongside him, sends it down the inside, giving each other more than room that they need. And Rahul gets a much worse start, but Contented Bink has gotten a very good restart, and he's just behind Rahul. But nope, that's not enough. That's not going to be enough to put a move on Rahul because I think he dumped his ERS entirely through the straight. So yeah, good restart from Rahul right there. As Stealthy Sunny didn't have the exact grip that he needed or the strategy that he needed to stay in the lead, which he did. But yeah, that was a decent restart from Rahul.
Yeah, actually, well, Catty going out of the first place, I mean the lead, was probably the biggest bummer. He is not very far off. He's again in P10 if you notice. He's not very far off. He's in P10. He will probably make a good comeback, but the top three, that's... Oh, we have a retirement of Star Max Lord. Can we go on board Hunter Vanguard and check it out?
Oh, it's gonna be another safety car, isn't it? Yep, it is, and that is going to save Contra Bobby, who did not pit under safety car and goes to his teammate. Oh my God, the Red Bulls have lost the plot here, if I'm going to put it
Absolutely.
nicely.
Starmax Lord must have had an I am stupid moment or tried to make a move or must have gotten an attacking move from someone. But Contra Bobby is still, remember, he's still gonna serve a drive through.
Uh,
He's not yet served it.
yep, he has. I mean, he has to be cautious. Oh, I think he's going to get disqualified. Because I remember the laps on the safety car are still counted in your 3 laps to serve drive through. So I am. I have a bad feeling that he might have no choice but to get disqualified due to the game being not optimized, or maybe the whatever the coding is not optimized well. So this might be a very sad moment for Contra Bobby right now.
Well, I want to see if Contra Bobby is gonna go into the pits. He's not. He's gonna stay out on track because he knows. I do not understand his thought process right now because it's a safety car. He could have put and gotten a fresh front wing and some fresh set of softs probably, and then gone on to get back to the pack, and after that serve his drive-through. But the man has stayed out thinking he'll serve his drive-through first. I do not
I
understand.
think Bobby's fighting and he's AFK, I guess.
Are you sure
I
he is
think he. Yeah,
AFK?
I think he. Yeah, he has posted a clip on Twitch. I think he is not racing right now. He might be on AI throughout. So yeah.
Well, the AI would immediately pit, to be honest. That is unlikely because if there is damage, the AI just pits. It doesn't care what penalties are available or
I'm
there.
sorry. On the side, I was looking at the incident, and that looks like uh, day and night. That's a black and white penalty for Contour. He just accelerates and does not stop at all. Sorry, stream, you can't watch this, but that's really unfortunate for Hunter Vanguard, who got a 5 seconds out of it, and Contour Bobby, who is out of the race as we speak. So yeah, this is very
Yeah,
sad
no
moment.
front wing.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he's on AI, and the AI does not box you in the safety car if I'm not wrong. So
Oh, is it? Then I might be
yeah,
I stand corrected, I guess.
it might be that the sole reason might be that that's why he's not bidding. He's on AI, I'm pretty sure, because he's posting stuff on chat. So I don't think people are texting and driving. I hope they're not. So damn, that's very bad. Star Max Lord also had DNF due to DNS on in the Casa section. So that's potentially a double DNF for the Red Bulls. It's not going to help them in the constructor challenge at all.
Absolutely, and well, I wanted to also mention that in terms of strategy, this safety car, the double safety car, almost 6 laps under the safety car now, and the medium runners are benefiting a lot from it because HP58, who's on hards, will be crying in that cockpit of his because he is trying to outdo the other drivers on the track now by doing a hards to the end without having to pit at all, whereas the other drivers definitely have to pit. And oh, Content Wing gets a 5 second penalty because HP58 goes into his back, but I think that is fine. Just concentrate on your race, boys, because until unless you have a pit stop to do, which is a big bummer, but if you do not have a pit stop to do, then you'll get that 5 second removed by the stewards of the Xbox League, Xbox tiers. So, well, now that I told it, I think he definitely has a pit stop to get
No,
done during
I
the
think if
race.
there is no, I mean, that's what I'm not sure. Oh, I think there's contact between Face Fighter and AJ there. What is Face Fighter doing? He's being a accident magnet today. Um, Definitely not, uh, not right now for the tier, because he's more of a hazard on track than actually racing driver right now. Sorry for bashing a driver, but it looks very really bad, because I think I saw the incident, and if you would have seen, you would have been quite enraged as well. But yeah, sorry for being biased there, but contended make, if there is no safety car after this, the 5 second penalty will be removed. Quite straightforward as that it should be, as there's no time gain. But if he is judged as the person who brake checked, or maybe was not uh, have was doing an erratic movement, then he might not get his 5 second. So we'll see. This might be go to the stewards, but we might be ready to restart at the end of this lap, Harry. I think.
Probably the safety car should be in this lab, but I do not see a message till now on the game side. So We'll have to wait and watch because oh yeah, they should be. You should get the message around this time that safety car is in this lap because the whole field is bunched up. Um, yeah, there you go, the message that we were waiting for. Let's stay on board Contented Mink. Um, let's go on board Contented Mink, TV pod cam, and wait and watch the restart from his view because this is teammates battling each other or supporting each other. And well, Contented Mink seems to be the faster driver in terms of raw pace, but Rahul seems to have gotten better results just because of his consistency on track. So we'll have to wait and watch how it goes for these guys. And as I say that, I think Stealthy Sunny has taken off immediately, and that has benefited him hugely because it got almost every driver from P2 all the way to the last position off guard. HB58 trying to, make up places but not able to get close enough. In the meantime, T3K9 seems to have had an incident. He is right now, yeah, he's quite some time behind Hunter Vanguard. He had an incident, he must have spun around, and he's about 5.5 seconds away from P10. Counter Bobby is in the pits, goes on to a fresh set of softs, gets his drive through removed surprisingly. I'm shocked. Um, excuse me, and he is definitely way off the rest of the field. The rest of the field is still bunched up. They're very close within DRS range of each other except for HB58 and AJ Sam. AJ Sam seems to be catching up again to HB58. The Dirty Air seems to be playing a huge role in these moments of the race where they're all close to each other. Contented Mink has dropped a lot to Rahul actually. He's lost almost 7 tenths. Rahul in the meantime, very close, almost half a second behind Stealthy Sunny, and he could be looking for a move. The DRS has still not been enabled, remember this. The Dirty Air will play a huge role and there'll be a lot of understeer for Rahul which he has to cope with. And if he drives perfectly fine over there, which he has, he's dumping all of his ERS for this. I do not understand why, but he still is trying to do it because he has dumped 50% of his ERS in this. He's got the fastest lap as well of the race. He's made a lot of time on Stealthy Sunny, but to what use because the DRS is still not enabled. And this is only going to give Stealthy Sunny a chance to re-overtake him once the DRS has been enabled next lap. And he will not have any ERS to, deploy and defend the position. So let's hope he plays the long game. Contented Ming in the meantime has dropped another 2 tenths within the first two corners, and by corner 3 he has lost quite some time. In the meantime, in the midfield, Simply Whitey closing in on Katie, who had that unfortunate incident behind the safety car. Let's not forget, Katie is trying to make a move down the inside of Face Fighter. He just gets the move done into just a couple of corners behind the castle section. He is going to try and get close to Steel Sneeze as well. Tough names to keep a track of during the race. But yeah, this pack seems to be interesting. A lot of wheel-to-wheel action. They're very close to each other. SD, what about you? What have you made from this?
Yep, I was just quietly admiring the fact that they were racing quite closely, but I think Contented Mink right now is struggling to keep up with the pace of the top two. Rahul, I think he's going to get an easy move done in the DRS zone because 5 tenths, 4 tenths in the long back straight is quite easy. Looks like at the starting phases of the race after the safety car period phase, he has the pace to keep up or maybe overtake Selti, which I think it's going to be quite easy. Selti already had topped the ERS last lap, so let's see as he moves alongside Stealthy Sunny right there. Goes around the outside. Interesting to see Sunny sticking around and he keeps it ahead of Rahul. That was great defense from Stealthy Sunny, placing the car in the right place. Still jockeying for position, trying to get that gap that is there. Rahul may be getting a better exit now. No, he doesn't. And 4 tenths away, it's going to be difficult. He dumps his entire battery pack, tries to make the move still because he knows he's faster. Goes round the outside of Stealthy Sunny. They go side by side. Rahul just make out without hitting the wall. And Rahul was placed to fight another day and goes on for the next lap. Quite close racing right there from top two. as Content and Mick has actually closed in while these two were fighting.
Absolutely, and I think Stealthy Sunny made a mistake over there because he's again back within half a second to Rahul, and they're very close to each other at the moment. This is interesting racing from the top three. Contented being again losing out on some place. I think he's not able to cope with the dirty air coming off from his teammate. In fact, a double wash from both the cars in front. It'll help him in the slipstream, but he's not able to keep up with them through sector 2, which is the biggest disadvantage he's facing right now. He might, ooh, and one of the Ferraris, I think it was Rahul who's lost an end plate, his right end plate. He's let Content and being pass. He's going into the pits for sure now because that will be undrivable in sector 2. That is a big disappointment. I do not understand what happened over there. If we can go on board Rahul immediately for a second, because he will be definitely diving into the pits. He's struggling to go through the straight as well, because those arrow from the wings is very important for him in terms of going flat through the whole final sector.
Yep, as one of the Ferraris into the pits for changing his wing, we have another Ferrari trying to put a move on Stealthy. He has gotten rid of one Ferrari, but another Ferrari right there to pounce. I think this might be much closer than before, as Contented Ming uses is using his ERS quite well, makes a move well before the braking zone, and I think that's the less of the issues that we're going to face, as I think we have a spun Aston Martin at the exit of turn 1, and I think he gets back going, so luckily there's no VSC or safety car needed. So yeah, that's the move for the lead, and we have a change of lead today.
Well, change of lead definitely, but then how useful will that be? Because Contented Ming has the pace, but he has to pull away in this sector, utilize the disadvantage that Stealthy Sunny has because of the dirty air, and he has done perfectly fine till now. He's already a second ahead. We have another retirement, and that is HP 58. I think that was in...
Oh.
Can we go on with Face Fighter? Oh yes, that was another I am stupid moment, but not from one of the Ferrari drivers. It was from HP 58.
Oh my god, this is yeah, we need to do something about the safety car because it's quite easy to get one around here. Is this car not ghosted? Because that's gonna be a bad. It's gonna be a block for the track. So okay, that's really put another safety car. It's just 10 laps of racing done. We have already had 3 safety cars. I think we have a hard rule for the amount of safety cars I can come out, but I'm not aware of the exact number. But I think we might actually reaching that limit tonight.
Yeah, we've already reached 2, and that is not ideal. And well, we have to understand that the game allows only 3 or 4 safety cars in a race, in a span of a 50% race. And I think Contented Ming has spit. What is he going on to? And he has a 5-second penalty to serve as well. That definitely will give the lead back to Stealthy Sunny, and he'll even lose some positions probably. And he's lost a position to AJ Sam. Only AJ Sam.
On soft tires, that's interesting. 15 laps to go and go on soft tires. Will it make till the end? That's a question. Definitely will want to have a good answer for. But yeah, interesting. People going on hards, people going on soft. It's a really battle of strategies out there tonight as well.
Absolutely. Actually, Stealthy Sunny, Stealthy Sunny and Contented Ming and the likes of Face Fighter have played it safe by going on to the hards, because, well, the game, or actually in real life as well, you have to use 2 compounds throughout a race distance until and unless it is a wet weather. That's close between Contra Bobby and T3 K9. He was coming out of the pits. They tried to battle for the position, but yeah, he comes out worse, as he's in P11 right now on fresh set of hards. He can go to the end of the race, but the soft runners, well, AJ Sam is going to struggle for sure towards the end.
Yeah, everything's all right.
Yep. The safety. I mean, we have a 3rd safety car tonight, and it's
So you
getting
guys
really,
are
really.
still gonna stick to your predictions?
Yep. I do prediction time. It's everything is gone down the drain because we have the Red Bulls, but I think still simply is P2 right now, and yeah, the McLaren boys have put on a charge, the safety car. We have around 15 laps to go from here, and definitely looks like the Ferraris have dropped back. The Mercedes have had a gained an advantage right now, given the safety, the bit behind the safety car. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how many safety car comes out right now. But Catty, after losing the lead under safety car, is back on the lead because he hasn't pitted under the current safety car. So there are three drivers who haven't pitted yet on the safety car. Can we just pull out the telemetry for the pit stops, number of pit stops done? So yeah, everyone has completed at least one stop, so no one has to mandatorily put on another set of tires. So that's all right. Catty right now leading with I think 9 lap posters. Definitely he has to have to pit because those set of mediums will not go till the end. Similarly for Simply as well, and as well as Steel. So top three did not pit on the safety car. I think they might be banking on another safety car where they will get a free position or free pit stop window. So yeah, we have to look forward to that. But if their wishes come true, but yeah, the McLaren boys putting in a charge, P3 and P5. Ferrari boys have dropped down from the 2 and 3 that they were because of the pit stop and the mistake that Rahul did, getting a wing damage at the exit of a corner. So everyone has seems to be bunched up, and we are going to have a restart probably at the end of this lap. So, Alex, what do you think? What about your, as you asked me, what about your predictions? Do you still have the same?
I stick to my prediction.
Yep, that's all fair. Contented Mink still has to put in. I can we just go back to the tire? I think everyone Contented Mink is on hards, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, content will put it for hearts.
Yep. So I think AJ Sam is the only one on softs. That's a bold strategy right there because I think those softs definitely will wear out by the time we go on to the final lap. So yeah, I think AJ Sam and the top three might need to pit again. On the order, I don't think anyone has to pit for another time, barring any safety cars, and they might try to put on a fresh set of softs. So yeah, we're waiting for the drivers to have a restart. It's going to be Catty leading the field and simply trying to make good enough restart, trying to stick as close to Catty and and not basically touch him because he's going to give both of them 5-second penalties, which is going to be very bad for everyone. So Catty right now backing the pack, maxing out his third gear, trying to burn some fuel in the process, trying to not show anyone, trying to be as unpredictable as possible in order to for the point that he has to bolt. And I think he has already bolted. No, he hasn't. He's still there, still waiting, still waiting. Has not bolted yet. And as right now, I think he's gone. Yeah, it's a recent restart, but I think Simply YT reacted quite well with that and Steel as well. And I think everyone is rounding up the first corner. Simply YT getting a good entry and good exit as Steel just touches the barrier. Lucky for him, did not get any damage. And Teldi trying to put on a move on Steel. And as we see, everyone is following the same order with Contra Bobby at the back of the field. As we say that Rahul makes a move on Face Fighter, and that's P8 for him. I think he moved the moves done. And AJ Sam, I think on the fresh set of softs, should be able to make his move quite easily on these, given the DRS and everything. So, yep, AJ Sam is trying to make a move. And as we see T3K9 getting it all wrong at the exit of turn 4, or turn 3, sorry, and he falls down to the back of the grid.
Oh my god, what am I watching? How
Yep, hi, welcome back. I think yeah, that was a quite a decent restart from the top 10, I would say, and I think T3K9 got it all wrong into turn 3. Barring that, everyone behaving quite well and safely into the first lap. And as we go to the end of the first lap, AJ Sam, I think AJ Sam and the top 3 need to pit because they are on either on worn tires or pretty worn tires or on softs, which are not definitely going to make till the end because we are only halfway through the race. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Pretty sure at this moment, Stealthy looks like a top contender for the win, barring any moves that people from behind make. So yep, it's going to be interesting to see who keeps the lead.
well
So the
I
onboard age, yep, sorry.
go on.
Yep, we are on board AJ right now, who's trying to make use of the soft tires that he has pitted in the last, using up every single bit of deployment allowed. As he just misses the rear. That will lose him a lot of time, as we see. The Mercedes-Benz getting it all wrong at the exit, having contact with the Ferraris. Well, you can't keep the Ferraris and the Mercs away from each other on this race, can you? Still fighting as we are on board. Hunter Vanguard, who's trying to use deploy his ERS, uh, dives down the inside. No, doesn't. Tries to stay behind, and I think that's same order as they went in the corner and they come out in the same order.
Well, I wanted to point out that Catty will definitely have to pit because he had damage behind the safety car. The mediums can't make it to the end, but Stealthy Sunny will be up in P1 once those pit stops happen. Contented Mink and Rahul with that important move on Hunter Vanguard into turn 1, even though it was a little bit of wheel banking. Well, I think that's your top 3. Both the Ferraris are back on contention for provisional podium positions once the pit stops happen.
Yep. The Ferraris are making a charge. Definitely, they were like 5 and 8, 6 and 8 going into the end of the safety car. Right now, they're 6 and 7. So it'll be interesting to see if Contented will give the place, because Rahul on fresher mediums can and will definitely have a greater pace advantage compared to him. So let's see if they have some team orders in the Ferrari team. I think team orders are not needed because Rahul pace on the DRS will just blast past, which is not still active. So chuck that. I think he will just blast past, and yep. And that's the move done. And Rahul moves into P6. They have to be very careful. But oh my god, it's another wing gone for Hunter Vanguard, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what he got wrong over there, but I don't know if he hit the back of Contented Ming or the outside of the turn 1 exit, but yeah, he's lost a wing.
Yep, and Red Skull, I think, leaves the session after DNFing on lap 1, if I'm not wrong. So yeah. We have a yellow flag, and I think it's Hunter on straight. Is it? Something has happened.
He's retired on track. He went straight on over there and retired on track.
I am not sure what was that. Hopefully that's not any malpractice or with something bad intent there. But let's go on with being positive. And I think that's, luckily for us, there's no safety car, because people will be frustrated by now.
Absolutely.
Not having a stretch of racing. So that's both the. Simply is in a good place right now, but he has to pit. As we see Steel getting it all wrong at the exit. I think it was a squeeze, and Steel hits the exit curve on the right, the wall at the right. Does he have damage? I feel there's something wrong with Steel's car, because he's dropping down a lot right now.
But I have to give him some words of appreciation, because considering that his car is not on pace right now, he's moving perfectly away from the racing line to let those faster boys out instead of giving them some damage and fighting for the position. That's kudos to you, boy. Kudos to you. Well, AJ Sam is definitely going to make that move stick, because fresher tires, better exit, and DRS, but they're going to make it stick. And as we say that, we have a Lance Stroll moment from Monza back on our stream.
I think your mic is cutting off. Sorry, Harry. Might be some maybe.
Is it fine now?
Yep, it's better now.
Yeah, I was just screaming a little too much. I'm sorry. I basically told that we had a Lance Stroll moment from Monaco on our stream as well, just as we were going to see the overtake from AJ Sam. But yeah, Simply Whitey has pit for a fresh set of softs for the last part of the race. And AJ Sam is fighting for Rahul fought with AJ Sam and got the position from him on 4-lap old mediums compared to a 4-lap old softs. This means a lot of new things in the race, because Stealthy Sunny is right now directly ahead of Rahul. Rahul is on a fresh set of, a 4-lap old mediums compared to the hards of Stealthy Sunny, who will not have the same amount of grip. And that means a P2 coming in already, probably down the DRS straight of the start-finish straight. We have yellow flags and a virtual safety car. Okay. By whom? My god, just when Rahul could have made that move for P2 on track, and probably the race win itself, because KT still has to finish the race on those mediums.
Yep, as we have a VSC. Hope this does not get turned into a safety car, because we have seen on this game that it's a new feature here. As KT pits, VSC, as being very opportunistic as he is, will put on a fresh set of mediums or softs, and that is going to save him 6 seconds or maybe half of what he had to pit under green flag conditions. So that's definitely helping KT right now. And that'll be interesting. AJ pits for a new set of tires as well. He pits for mediums. Catty pits for a fresh set of softs, so he will be mega quick going into the final stage of this race. So watch out for him making beautiful overtakes, hopefully for his sake. And yep, that is definitely wrong, guys.
Oh, someone's retired behind us, VSC. Let's wait and see if we can catch it on. I don't think we can.
His car has already ghosted, already left. So I think that was a quite. I think it was under safe, under in the pit window. So I think that's the issue. But
Well, as we say that,
yep.
if I can go on SD, KT made that move already, and now it's the fight for the direct lead between these 4 drivers in P1 to P4. KT is coming in hot. He's 3 seconds behind this train. Contented Mink is about 2.5 seconds behind Rahul himself. But Rahul is definitely going to fight for the lead now down the start-finish straight. If we can go on board Rahul and stay with him for the rest of the lap. Go on, SD. You were talking about something.
Yep, I was just saying, is Counterpop actually racing, or is it his AI? Because he is P5 right now, and I hope for his sake he's racing, because it's going to give him quite good points if he can keep in that, because he doesn't need to make any pit stop moving forward. Oh, did he just smash it? Yep, he definitely smashed into the wall, and that is, oh my god, that puts some misery into Rahul as well, because on the set of hards he has to pit yet again, and without any safety car he'll be at the back of the grid, even behind Steele. So damn, that is another mistake for one of the Ferraris, and that's Rahul yet again making a mistake. So oh my god, that is not what the script would have said for the Ferrari boys.
Absolutely. I mean, they were in P1, P2, P2, P3 positions multiple times during today's race, probably 3 times, and they've lost it all the way. All the way. In the meantime, KT is making huge inroads into Contented Ming's gap, and he's only a second behind. In fact, even lesser. He might try to make a move even before the DRS straight with the way he's able to catch up to Contented Ming. Both of the guys in P1 and P2 are on 6-lap old hards. Look at the pace difference that KT has through the castle section. The grip is extreme. He's just cutting through, and he's already so close. I think he's letting off the throttle a bit to make sure that he gets it cleanly done in the DRS straight, because or else it's going to be a little, let's say, dangerous to make the move. Front wing might get donated in the process.
Yep, I think this might be a straightforward move from Kati. Hopefully he doesn't understeer like his Ferrari counterpart did into the wall, and definitely keeps it away from the wall. And with the GRS and the ERS combined, it's going to be a straightforward move for P2 for Kati. And he has his eyesight for Stealthy, who is just 2.5 seconds away. So 2 seconds as we speak. And in the meantime, Kakati sets a fastest lap as well. So the win definitely looks likely. It depends on how quickly Stealthy he can dispatch Stealthy and maybe save his tires, because 7 laps it's going to take a toll on the soft tires. For his sake, hopefully he does not get slower than the hard runners, because the hard is definitely a very consistent tire on this track. Not the fastest, of course, being the hardest compound, but it's definitely very consistent. You can push on them every single lap, while on the softs, if you push one lap, the next lap you have to pull them down a bit. So it'll be interesting to see if how quickly Catty can dispatch Stealthy and create a gap.
Absolutely, and that is the closest battle on track as well, because Catty is making, again, the same place where I told the same dialogue. He's making huge inroads into Stealthy Sunny's lead, and Facefight has just lost a position to Simply YT towards the ending of Sector 1. If we can go on board KT immediately because he's making huge inroads into Stealthy Sunny's lead, and I think he's going to make the move as well pretty soon. Down the DRS straight, probably if he plays it safe. Mature driving, I would say, because he's trying to just keep it on track because he has amazing pace on top of that fresh tires. He's almost a second slower than his previous lap, which itself shows that he has botched himself down just to get a clean overtake on Stealthy Sunny for the win. Down the start finish straight, that should look quite easy. Getting pushed a little, but not much because that's the correct thing to do. Stealthy immediately starting in for the slipstream. He has used all of his ERS, his battery, to try and defend from KT. But now I think he'll have to be careful about Contended Mink. And if not Contended Mink, I don't see anyone else who's going to try and make a move. Rahul, in the meantime, showing that he still has the pace and he's not given up, has set the fastest lap, has made his move on Face Fighter, and yeah, he's on fresh soft, so that should explain. But I do not see him going anywhere beyond P4. And as we say that he has a slight tap with the wall, AJ Sam pits again for fresh softs. I do not know why, but yeah.
I think he might have lost a wing, part of his wing somewhere, so that's going to be end of the race for him as well. Because I doubt there'll be a safety car, hopefully. But again, not jinxing anyone or
We saw
any person.
SD,
So
SD, if your memory is fresh from the last Sunday, we had a
Oh,
safety
yes.
car on the final third lap. So I don't think we can
Yeah.
pull out, count out any safety cars considering the way the track is taking a toll on the drivers.
Yep, anything can happen, of course, but hopefully no one overextends this section and gets it completely wrong. Catty seems to have pulled out 2.2 seconds, 2.3, which is definitely what he would have wanted to do. Looks like Stealthy Sunny has contended Mink right now in his pocket for now, but he can definitely lose the pace and contended Mink might be more persistent. We will see. The gap is 2.2 and closing in right now, but I think that's because of the straight line speed of the DRS or the slipstream. So yeah, Simply YT has meanwhile passed Contra Bobby and is closing to contended Mink, but 5 laps. We will see what happens as Rahul, the first set of softs, trying to make a move on Contra Bobby. Definitely, this will be hopefully as easy for his sake, but yep, gets a DRS open wide, and that's the move done. On Simply, there's a move done, but Contra Bobby tried to break much later than him and send it around the outside, but is not happening there.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, Simply YT was 14 seconds behind Contended Mink about a couple of laps before. Sorry, a lap before actually. Within the span of a lap or two, he's gained almost 3 seconds, and he's still closing in. And if he can keep those tires in the window, not degrade them too much, not push too hard, with consistency, he might be able to catch up to Contended Mink. I mean, by the end of the race, I do not see it not happening at this point of time with the pace he's showing.
Yep. This is it's still been a very long and drawn out race for recently, but I think for all the viewers watching, Kati, we saw her put in a very good performance in quali. Hopefully, barring any commentators curse, is going to draw this out because he's gaining around second a lap right now over the others. So that's really going to be good. And Simply YT has gained 2 seconds in this lap, isn't it, Harry? That's going
I
to be
think
interesting because
I think that's something to do with Contended Mix. Sorry to say, but look at the pace. He's dropped 7 tenths within a couple of corners to Stealthy Sunny. I do not know if he has front wing damage. Let's see if he can. Yes, he has front wing damage. Oh my god.
Oh no, he gets much more, but luckily there is no penalty for that in terms of time. Oh my god, that would have been a race-ending damage right there.
Well, I don't know if we should even think about this anymore, but Rahul is close to Simply YT. He's not very far. He's 5 seconds off, and he has 4 laps to try and close that, and he has the pace as well. Contended Mink, meanwhile, on a fresh set of softs, I presume. That's the only right tires to go on to right now with the damage he had. Both the Ferrari drivers facing that understeer issue into the final kinks on that final 1.1 kilometer straight. I do not understand they're I just do not understand how much rage they will be in right now, but I hope they keep it cool and finish the race because Rahul might potentially still have a podium in sight because of his pace, which he can catch up to Simply Whitey with.
Yep, it's gonna be close because Simply Whitey himself is catching Stealthy. But I think the fastest lap will be on Contended because I think he might just dispatch the two in front and uh, just get a better exit, I would say. But given that there will be DRS, we will see how close he comes to the fastest lap. But that will be another point for the Ferrari guys. It's going to help them in the championship as this lone surviving Mercedes is in a podium position, so that's good for them. Uh, Ahead of the Ferraris, both the Ferraris too, I think. So, yep, will be interesting final moments of the race.
Absolutely. Can we go on board Contended Mink immediately because there's a three-way battle for P6 and I do not see how he will lose that battle anymore because he is right. Ooh, Rahul 94 has retired
Oh,
from the race.
gee,
And
that's
it's a
going to
safety
be.
car. Can we go on board Contra Bobby immediately if we can catch him? Uh, can we go on board? Yeah, thank you. Rahul has retired on the straight. On the damn straight.
I think he hit the wall on the left.
Yeah,
Damn.
that was
Oh,
absolutely. Oh my god, I am
I
in
think Mink
disgust.
has the highest advantage of having a
yep. I doubt anyone's gonna pit right now. We are down to just 8 runners right now. My goodness, that is going to be very. It looks like a very carnage-filled race tonight. Definitely, of half the more than half around half the grid is out of the race already due to some incidents of their own or maybe incidents with others. So AJ Sam changes front wing, puts on another set of softs. I'm not sure how many softs they've already gone through this race. It might be a U set,
Now that you've told
but
that, SD, sorry to cut you off. If you can quickly go to race director and show us the number of pit stops that have happened in this race, could you, Alex? Let's. This is just curiosity right now. Yeah, go back. Go back to the drivers thing. Yeah, there you go. Well,
4 stops for who's that Hunter who is retired.
5
Uh,
stops for AJ.
4 for AJ. Yep. Oh my god.
5 for AJ. I mean, yeah, I think 4 stops because he's
Five
pit
sets
4
of
times.
tires.
Yeah,
Yes.
5 sets of
Yeah.
tires. Oh my god. And can you believe that P1 has had 3 um 3 pit stops. P4, P3 or P4 had 4 pit stops. There you go, P4. Man, everyone on average have done 3 pit stops. 3 pit stops in this race. That should tell you a lot about this race. That's a story by itself. This is probably very useful for the stream. Thank you very much for
Catty has
historical
lost his
purposes.
P1. Has he pitted? He
Yeah,
has pitted.
fresh softs. Well, that makes
Oh my
sense.
god. Everyone is
I
pitting.
think everyone is going for fresh.
That makes
We are just
sense.
got. We are. Yeah, I know, but I think why did Stealthy go for it then? That is. I'm perplexed because he has done only one stop in this entire race. He has not touched the soft tires at all.
And the biggest disadvantage he has now is the safety car still out there. So they'll all get bunched up. Catty gets the lead again. I mean, the P2.
We
Uh,
might have just one lap of racing, Harry, if you have noticed, because AJ Sam is quite far behind.
actually,
It's half a lap behind nearly.
in fact, Simply Whitey himself, I mean, they might catch up by the end of this lap, I guess, that bunch, but AJ Sam might not be catching up. And as I see that Steele has retired, oh my god, behind the safety car out of turn 2. I hope his teammate can give us a POV of what has happened. This is a disaster. An absolute disaster. Please, Codys, do not remove that car. I want to see that car. Can we go on board immediately to AJ? On board AJ. I want to see that struck car. It is right. Oh, there it is. Oh, just in time. Thank you, AJ. You are the fastest driver in my opinion on the grid. Thank you very much. You showed us some useful footage of how Steel Sneeze met his demise on track. Okay, that's a little too dark, that sentence. But yeah,
Definitely, that's a bit too dark, but yep, we have more than 50% of the grid retiring tonight. Um,
actually, it's
yeah,
exactly 50%.
yep, Baku, yeah, throws a lot of challenges to the drivers, and if you're not consistent, if you're not, if you're not consistent enough, as I said, and if you're not trying to be cool, having a cool head, and try to not think too much about the barriers, you are bound to have the issues which the drivers have. And safety car is coming in. Interesting. AJ Sam will have no say in this because he's going to be 25 seconds behind. Oh my god, that's race already over. He's not going to improve at all on his position because 25 seconds in 2 laps, not happening, definitely.
Well, take a notice on this. They have gone already and the safety car has not yet entered the pits. I do not
Oh,
understand how the
this
team, and
restart,
there you
oh my
go.
god! Oh,
That should
oh, that
answer
was
it.
so close. What was that restart, my friend?
Someone's gone wide as well. Contra Bobby has gone wide and he's rejoining on track and takes
Oh!
out someone as well. Probably his teammate or face fighter, one of
It's,
them.
that's his end race. That's his end as well. He's going to be ending the race there as well. So,
But
damn.
as I was
So, yeah.
thinking about it, well,
Simply,
KTB,
I think
yeah,
made a move. Sorry to
yeah,
cut you off. Simply has made a move on Catty, and Catty will be ruining his chances because Simply might be looking for the win right now.
absolutely. Simply might be looking at the win. In fact, before the safety car restart, I would have told you, but then the safety car was coming in the lap, so I didn't want to make the statement. But then only 4 people on the track out of the 7 have softs, fresh softs, and the rest of them are on very old tires, 11 lap, 12 lap, 13 lap old tires. So there is no way those guys are going to be able to. I won't be surprised if all of them have lost multiple positions at the end of
Yeah,
this race.
everyone has just one opportunity or two opportunities given this lap as well. So to make an overtake, there will be no DRS. Remember, it's going to be all on DRS overtake and the slipstream purely. But yeah, that was an interesting restart from Stealthy. That was definitely not a right way to restart, Harry, because you will have a throttle cutoff because you're so close. Because safety car has not reeled in into the pit, so that would have been very close to dangerous restart, Harry, don't you think?
Actually, it reminds me of Portimao, if you remember the way the in real life, by the way, Portimao, if I'm
Uh,
not wrong.
no, I think it's Mugello.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mugello. Yeah, they all. There was a multiple car pile of 4 cars out in the race. And as we say that, let's not forget, Stealthy Sunny has been overtaken by 1 car, maybe 2 cars down the start-finish straight. And KT has tried for the lead, and they've gone into each other. KT has lost 2 positions as a result of that. I do not know if he has damage, but he doesn't seem to have
Doesn't
got
look
any
like it.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very brave move to try from KT. In fact, he could have stayed behind the car. And
But
as I
then
said,
it makes sense that oh my god, that's a Hamilton moment right there. And he resets on track. That
and
was
we
a
got it on
penalty point
stream.
coming as
And Stealthy Sunny has,
well.
uh,
Oh, they're fighting it. This should give him a good round the outside move, Kati, and yeah, he gets a move
oh,
done.
there are a lot of wheel banging. And yes, that was Stealthy Sunny. I knew that was Stealthy Sunny because of there was something that showed yellow flags. And yes, those tires are not letting him fight on track. But that put Contended Ming back in P3. I cannot believe
Oh
this.
my god, what is going on right there, dude? We have a lot
AJ
to take in
Sam
the final.
is in P4. I do not
What
believe
has
this.
happened to him? Oh my god, dude, I'm so surprised right now. How did AJ make up that 25 seconds? He's just 8 seconds behind this. People have battled to their end
Oh
tonight
my
in the final
god.
lap. There is any penalties either to Catty, Mink, or one of the three, AJ might be looking well for a podium. So, damn, that he will be really, really happy with his position right now. But yeah, Stealthy, I'm not sure what went wrong with there because I think that oh my god, is there another incident? Yep. Think he has lost the plot. As we can we go on to kind on board simply because I think he's about to cross the line. Beautiful drive from him, kept it away from the walls, and I think he has advantages tonight as Catty finishes P2. He'll be disappointed, but P2 nonetheless for him. Contented being the sole Ferrari left on the track finishes P3. The championship still goes around and still active for the two protagonists of the championship. We want to say that is Simply YT and Contended Mink. As face fighter, after having so many incidents tonight, being an incident magnet, maybe glitches, maybe his fault, but yeah, finishes P5. Healthy Sunny will be very disappointed with himself and the decision not to put in a new set of tires, which has finally made him lose all the positions. And Counter Bobby, after having a very weird race, I mean, at one moment was plumb last, finishes last among the runners, but still into the points. So yeah, that's your final finishing order, folks.
Wow. I am scared for our race coming this weekend SD for both the tiers. All 3 tiers in fact. Contendment gets the driver of the day. I do not know. This might be a bold statement, but I do not see a driver of the day in any of those 7 drivers at this point because the number of safety cars that were there and the number of restarts they had to go through. It is so tough to tell because I did not see. I was not able to see proper pace from these drivers because of the number of safety cars. We had 4, if I'm not wrong, and
Yep,
one
4 is the
as
max if I'm not wrong as
yeah,
well.
that
So
is
yeah.
the max. So yeah, that is all that happened. And as we say that, these 3 drivers did come out best. Let's just quickly check the standings once it loads up in the game. But well, yeah, there you go. Simply YT gets P1, KT gets P2, Content Ming P3. This is the closest to what you told, I think, SD, for the
Yep.
P1, P2.
So for me,
It's
it was the same 3 teams, but in the wrong order, and the one wrong with like simply replacing Hunter. I think I got 2 out of the 3 right. Maybe not in the positions, but at least the finishing order. Not the
Well,
finishing order, but the people.
I
So
do
yeah.
not see anything
by
wrong
the
in
way,
that.
hands up, I got all 3 correct.
Oh well, there you go. I think he called it correct the most. He's won the race
Yes.
among the commentators and streamers. He's gotten all 3 correct, so I think you get a cookie for this, sir. And
Thank you for the cookie.
well, in the meantime, we have AJ Sam and P4. I do not know. That's a brilliant place to finish after where he was given the last 2 laps, the safety car of before the last 2 laps. Face Fighter in P5, Stealthy Sunny in P6, Counter Bobby in P7, and well, Steel Sneeze gets P8. The game has still given him a P8 because he had retired due to an incident, but thereon everyone has DNF'd, everyone. So only 50% of the grid had crossed the finish line at the end of the race. Well, the fastest lap goes to Rahul, but again he has DNF'd as well. So I do not. I'm in shock. I'm really at a loss of words at this point. So let's quickly go on to the podium and wait for our drivers to get into the VC if they are still having the energy to come here for
Yep.
Yeah,
the.
I
we
think
have contented Mink with us and Catty and simply our top winners.
Well, thank you for that, SD. Can you take this away?
Yep. Yeah, definitely one race to remember because I mean solely because of the length as well as the amount of incidents and safety cars we saw on track. But yeah, amongst every incident and battle, simply YT comes victorious. And simply, are you there?
Yes.
So, how was your race, bro? We were following you. At one point, I think you were last after lap 1, if I'm not wrong, with the wing damage. So, yep, how was your race? Can you maybe summarize in like a few words for us?
Yes. So what happened was start was good, but something happened at I'm not sure turn 2 or turn 1 or something, and then uh, I had some incident, got red wing damage, had to crawl back because of the safety cars could make up some space. I pit, and yeah, after that I just got extremely lucky. But at the end, I was thinking of not pitting, but I saw Catty pit, so I followed him through. And I would like to thank Face Fighter as well. Whenever I came near him, he just let me by at the earliest. So yeah.
Yep, I think we were following you closely and Catty and the top 3, to be honest with you, and the safety car restart. And that restart from Stealthy would have been questioned because I think that was very close to the safety car. I think he got throttle cut. I think everyone got a throttle cut due to that. And you were
Yeah,
so
nearly crashed into
close.
Catty. Nearly
Yep, you're
crashed into
so
Catty.
close to the rear of Catty. And I think going into the turn 1, at the final lap, you made a move, or Catty made a move on you, and you both came together. So what happened there?
I was obviously ahead of Catty, and then Catty just broke late, and I literally went off track. I got track limits warning also. I tried to give that much space very near the wall, but still Catty came. I think he had some sort of damage or something. But we've talked about it, and he said not my fault or any of his fault. Just happened to happen, I guess, in the heat of the moment. So yeah.
Well, congratulations to you. Amongst everything, all the incidents, all everything, you kept it cleaner than anyone else. Gave us a brilliant final 3 laps, all the top 3, and we look forward to see you having a good race in the next weekend as well.
Thank you.
Let's move on to our P2 finisher, Catty. Catty, you there?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to ask the same question as you. Can you summarize your race in maybe some words for the viewers out here?
It was quite messy, if I'm being honest. The first virtual safety car obviously didn't go to plan at all. So I had to pit and then I had to go to the back of the field. And then from there, like, for the most part, it was just patience and waiting for the right moment to overtake. Uh, and then after I saw the VSC come out on lap 15, I pit because up to that point, I was just staying out for the in the hope of a safety car, virtual safety car, so that I'd be brought back into it. And then in hindsight, I should have actually probably stayed out at the last safety car because it would have been much easier to control the speed of everyone at the safety car start. So, yeah.
Yep, I think we were following closely through quali because your lap and quali 3 was utter brilliant because being 3.5 tenths in front of the P2 guy, I think it was Hunter Vanguard at that point, and doing a low 39.2 was really good. We all felt that you had a pace for the win. At least I did. I had faith in you. But yeah, are you happy with the P2? Do you think there were some moments that you could have done better, or maybe you would have, if you had able to change the past, you would be able to change? Is there anything that pops out in?
I think probably turn one in the last virtual safety car because, as I said, they didn't go to plan at all.
Sorry to cut you all off there, but I think that was very similar to Sebastian's try for a win in 2018 or
Are you
20.
cutting off? Sorry, I think maybe a little bit less enthusiasm.
Sorry.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, is it fine now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was trying to give a reference of what happened for KT, probably in the wrong Ferrari powered engine car, but he did something similar to Sebastian trying to make a move for the win on Hamilton, if you remember, in 2018, I guess.
Both us, yeah.
On Bottas. So yeah, that was a really opportunistic move. I would say uh, ambitious move into turn one from KT, but yeah, nonetheless, I think an easy win probably, but got P2 nonetheless. And again, it was on equal terms with Simply YT, so good battle for them. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask.
May I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what?
Catty, don't get triggered just because he called you Katie, okay?
Oh, my bad.
Sorry,
I'm still
Catty.
not used to the pronunciation because your names are very difficult for at least my pleb brain to understand. So it's difficult for me to
No.
pronounce.
Katie is correct. Please continue. You're doing awesome.
All right. All right.
Don't abuse the privileges.
Oh my god. So,
All right.
I'm gonna ask Contented Mink his about his race. Contented Mink, did you see yourself sitting on the podium after
Sorry.
starting from?
Did you blank yourself? And there are a lot
Did
of
you
words.
see? Sorry, did you see yourself in P3 or anywhere close to the podium after starting from P14 at the start of the race?
No, not really. This is not one of my best tracks, I would say. Probably one of the weaker ones. So it was a write-off weekend. Before even qualifying, I was hoping to maybe finish at least fifth. Anything above fifth would have been great. And after that, bottle job in quali. Coming up to third, I mean, I'm not sure if I didn't have any incidents, but there may be other penalties after the work time now. I think, yeah, considering everything, not a bad weekend for me.
Well, that's good news for you. I mean, my prediction was Rahul and you would finish on the podium with KT winning.
Sorry, you were
Catty.
cut off again.
My prediction. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I'm sorry about my mic, but my prediction was that you and Rahul would finish on the podium along with Catty. But yeah, that was y'all were very close to double podium actually at a point till where Rahul had an incident going into the
Yeah.
final sector. But yeah,
This was what you would call a race of changing fortunes. Pretty much everyone at some point looked like they were gonna come out on top, and I guess in the end also I was in second or third somewhere behind Sunny, and I made a mistake and I fell back again. So to be able to come back up to top 5 after every time I made a mistake, so I guess some good luck on my side today.
absolutely.
Yep, I think we saw more than 10, 5 to 7 change of position so for the lead. So yeah, it was quite good. I think Alex here was adamant that you were going to win the race. Well,
No.
sorry to tell
Yes,
Alex.
I'm very proud that all my predictions are on a
Yeah, I think I'm sorry. I'm sorry to
Simply, I'm
disappoint
very
you,
sorry.
Alex.
He
Yeah.
simply actually told me that not to predict myself. So
क्यों
yeah, I'm
भाई मैंने क्या
sorry.
बिगाड़ा है तेरा?
It's all right.
Well, on that terrible disappointment, okay, I'm just kidding. But on that amazing race that we had for the weekend, sorry, for this Thursday, my bad, the weekend's still coming up.
I
Let's just end this, SD, and we will call it a day. It was a beautiful race. Lot of issues on track, yes, in terms of safety cars and all of that, and a restart in the lobby itself. But it was definitely keeping us on the edge of our seats in the com box. At least I'm hoping it's the same for you guys, for the viewers out there. But yeah, that's it for the Xbox stream today. Do tune in during the weekend on Saturday for the Tier 2 lobby, and on Sunday for the Tier 2020 and the Tier 1 lobby of the F1 League, F1 2020 and 21 League. That's it for today. Good night, everyone. And